is, which is the Mars Missing video.
Nice.
Should be
Actually, I watched my first anime with English dub. I've seen it already in Japanese 2 or 3 times, and I heard how good the English dub is, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I've tried before, and I couldn't get past the first episode. I'm gonna do it, and it was Cowboy Bebop, 26 episodes, and yeah, the acting's not bad, and they don't just completely ruin the translation. They changed some things here and there. One character, for those that know the show, Ed, she works better in Japanese because she's kind of a crazy gibberish kind of character, says crazy stuff, and it just works better with a Japanese person, female voice shouting stuff, and then reading it to me was funnier than the English dub actor trying to recreate that same charm. But yeah, I got through the whole series with English on, and actually, I don't know if it was the English dub. I don't know if it's because it was my third time through the show. There's a few episodes hit me that didn't hit me before. I felt like sad and depressed at one point. Something happens in the show, and I didn't remember feeling that before. So I was like, God damn it. And then I watched the movie with the English on, and I still prefer Japanese, but I will say it's nice for something as stylized and beautiful visuals as a hand-drawn Japanese animation to not have to look down and read. I can actually appreciate
I agree.
the entire
I
thing.
think if Robert wants to feel some actual emotion, finally, he should just play Zelda with Japanese.
Yeah, you're crazy. That's one that I'll never agree with in terms of that one.
I don't think the Zelda voice actor's very good in English. Like, she's not a great.
No, but it's always the one scene that we're always talking about, the cry one.
But I will say,
I've yet to see anyone cry like
Yeah.
the other person does.
When you're watching Jurassic Park.
Damn, dude, was I going? No, I
I will say, Robert recently watched Princess Mononoke, and that movie I think it's like 2 points less out of 10 with the English dub. I was watching. I'd bought it just because I heard Studio Ghibli, and I had heard great things. And I don't remember if that was the first one I watched. I picked up the DVDs back in the day, and I got to the part. I don't know if you've seen the movie Retro.
Oh yeah, of course.
Where our hero, I can't think of his name at the moment. It's been a few years since I've seen it. He meets the old geezer making like porridge or whatever, rice or whatever he's making, and it was voiced by Billy Bob Thornton, and he's just given this monotone, bored, and I'm like, God, this movie kind of sucks. I'm not really feeling this. People said this movie was great, and just on a whim, I don't know what made me do it. This was when in the 90s, early 2000s. Well, it was before Blu-ray, so it was in the 90s, late 90s, whenever the movie came out on DVD. And I just turned on the English dub, English with the subtitles. I started and I listened to that scene, and that guy it was completely transformed it for me. I was like, oh my God, that character's just like completely different. And so I watched the whole movie over, and I don't think I'll ever try again. Maybe someday, just for the hell of it, just to make it interesting watching it again. But like when he gets to the little town, or the town, and all that, when he's yelling, there's moments where a real emotion needs to come out, and the voice actors no, and then the Japanese are like, ah! They're just like shouting, which they do. They're really good at it. And and then like the English, not just in that movie, but some of them are just like, no, just like that. Like it's like, come on, there's no emotion to that. Like, and so
I'll watch Paddington 2 and I'll watch it in French dubbed.
Do you?
Yo, that's crazy. No,
that's
no.
that's stupid.
Like, no, because he has that voice. What's his name? Ben something. He has that voice where it's like, oh, Lucy. Like that, just that
No,
sounds
but that doesn't
amazing.
matter apparently for you. So I could just watch it.
I'd love to watch Paddington
Well,
just
maybe it's great. I'm not gonna judge. I haven't seen it.
No, it'd be funny. Just Paddington's in a different language, and then you read subtitles just for Paddington. Just have like a Japanese voice acted Paddington, and everybody else English. Because I bet it's completely. He's good though. I mean, I'm not gonna change if the original thing was acted in English. I'm not gonna listen to some
Yeah,
dub.
of course. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, original language is almost always the best option for story performances. I mean, there's been good acting, but then sometimes they change for whatever reason. They think the Americans can't handle some tech talk or something like at the beginning of Ghost in the Shell. It's like I'm like that doesn't make any sense. Let me put on the Japanese subtitles. I'm like, oh yeah, they're just describing some very tech. It's a very tech, what do they call it? Techno babble kind of like they're describing advanced technology stuff, and in the English they just made it completely not even like that, just to simplify it.
Yeah, I will say though, I think in the more recent years, especially because of how anime is viewed, they're more like they more essentially go beat for beat what the Japanese is nowadays, like with newer anime.
Well,
I mean, like
yeah,
they don't really be changing shit like that, where it's like, oh man, that's completely different from what they're saying.
well, the thing is,
Um,
Disney didn't buy the rights, but they bought the public, like the
yep.
rights to release these movies with the English dubs, and then they hired all these big name actors, and it was like, well, not big name, but very well known names, not the biggest actors, but everybody, they like wanted the poster had all these names on it. I'm like, damn, all those actors like are in these movies, like.
I will say though, the Boy and the Heron, that wasn't from dubbed from Disney or anything. That's the newest one, from Studio Ghibli, and there a lot of really good voice acting. They have Robert Pattinson's in it, and you would never tell it's Robert Pattinson. He puts on a completely different voice that is like, holy wait, I actually didn't know who was Robert Pattinson until the end of the movie, until the credits. Like I was like, oh
well, yeah, there's been great actors turn voice actors. I mean, obviously. Luke Skywalker, drawing on blank on Mark Hamill was the Joker. I would have never known he was the Joker in the Batman animated series. Just no idea.
Because you said Mark Hamill, I was literally today started rewatching A New Hope. I'm like, dude, I haven't seen Star Wars in like 15 years. I'm watching it because it's like on Hulu, and every time you have a scene where you can see they redid the movie to add the CGI stuff the scenes, I'm like, man, why is this in here?
I don't mind it for
actually, you know what?
I think it improves Cloud City in most shots, but everything else I feel like.
But like you see, like they created like the banta, this giant bison creature,
and they show like a close up of it too.
And then they're in Mos Eisley, and you see this CGI lizard. It's like, bro, come on.
It's just like walking all in the camera.
Yeah, they
and
walk
shit.
super close to the camera. This low res shot,
it's
like
horrible.
It's like they
what?
They really felt that CGI was better than it was back then. That's for sure. They thought they had.
How about Mark Hamill? He's also in The Boy and the Heron. I forgot. Yeah,
and he's in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Plays the Fire Lord, and he's great.
That's right. He's great.
And Mark Hamill is everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
And he's actually been, I'd say, more successful overall. I don't know about money wise, but he's had a lot more roles voice acting than he ever did as an actor. Other than Star Wars.
More people, I feel, would recognize him as the Joker than they would do as Luke Skywalker.
I don't know. That'd be close.
But... I know that's a pretty big claim.
My buddy at work.
There's no way. Actually, there's no way.
No, I don't think so. But my buddy at work.
Yeah, no.
He was always talking Star Wars, Star Trek. This is probably 5-6 years ago, and I said something about Mark Hamill, and he goes, "Who's that?" I said, "Mark Hamill, fuck that Luke Skywalker." He's like, I don't know his name. Like, dude, like, how do you not know Mark Hamill's name after 20 or 30 years of Star Wars? Like, you're supposedly a sci-fi guy who's always talking about Star Wars versus Star Trek. Like,
Mark Hamill was a major voice.
This goes to show you that most people are full of shit.
Yeah, and then the thing I was going to... I didn't know the Lilo and Stitch live action actually was made, and let alone coming out this month. And so I was like, well, let me check out a trailer. I look at the trailer, and there's like a couple comments. They're like, I'm so glad first and last name is back as voicing Stitch. I'm like, did that person really know that voice actor's name? Or did they look it up?
Bro, there's some big fans of, like, generational fans of Lilo and Stitch. Like, that's
we're in the internet age when people can bullshit their
I'm thinking, like, there's no way.
I mean,
looking shit up.
Of course, but
Yeah,
there
just
are
look the shit up.
there are some people that like.
Oh, there were definitely some people. There was
That's
people
like a-
before the internet age that were just
Yeah.
like really
Lilo
nerdy
and
about
Stitch,
that kind of shit.
But then,
yeah,
like,
Lilo and Stitch, very generational type thing.
that's
like,
weird
they
because
will-
I watched that
especially-
movie once and I'd like never felt the need to watch it again. I didn't know people were that into it, but I did work with a girl who had a Stitch tattoo on her stomach, and I'm like, that's a
Yeah.
random thing, but
I knew
Nah,
Lilo
dude,
and Stitch was
it's
popular.
It's a huge movie.
is it?
I knew it was popular when I heard Nas mention it in one of his songs. I'm like, what?
That was still hand drawn with CG,
what?
right?
I believe
That was hand drawn and CG together. Wasn't just
Yeah.
CG, right?
Yeah.
When
No,
did
it was
that
hand
come out?
drawn.
No, it was
Yeah, they had like CG
Wait.
elements.
So,
So.
was it 2D animation?
no, it was 3D.
2002.
Lilo and
What
I
am I
Stitch.
think it's
saying?
hand drawn.
What am I saying? There's some 3D in there.
Yeah,
That's
but
what
they
I'm
use the
trying
three. They use a lot of,
Usually back
like a
then they
mix.
would add CGI for like camera.
and it was really
shots.
clean. You know, you could tell because it was so clean, the lines and stuff. But I think it benefited a lot of those movies. I think Rescuers Down Under was the first one I remember using it, but like the
I mean,
original
Wait,
movie.
who-
I mean,
when was Lilo and Stitch?
2002 it came out.
Was it 02? Oh my god.
You know,
Maybe that's
I
the
mean,
last.
it-
'Cause I
that's-
put it in the in our chat. What's the last animated?
I saw you guys talking. I didn't know what you were
film you
talking
saw.
about.
And I'm like, maybe it was Lilo and Stitch now. If that was 02.
No, I saw
when
those.
was
I saw
Hey, you
the
gave me a
frog,
bro
Princess
when I
and the
said
Frog.
Lion King. It was like a few years before that.
The Princess
It
and the
was
Frog
few
was the
years,
last one.
1994, my brother. Like,
like, shut the fuck up, is that old already?
yeah, Lion King is
The Lion
94.
King,
What
yeah,
you talking
dude, the
about?
Lion King
I
is
thought it was like
1990.
99 or
The
something.
Princess and the Frog was the
No.
official last one they did. And,
No.
that's-
Yeah, that was
2009.
2008, 2009. Okay.
2009, yeah,
I saw that
2009.
one, 2009.
I mean, yeah, if you don't, if I was, I told T and I in chat that like if you don't go to watch Japanese movies, aka anime in theaters, like majority of like animation is not 2D animation. You know?
Spirited
I
Away
haven't-
was 2001. Holy shit!
The only one I've seen in theaters is probably like Princess Mononoke. That was probably like the only.
I didn't
Which
see
that
any.
was-
I've seen tons on VHS and DVD, but
Oh, you're talking about at the
actually
theater?
seeing it at the theater.
Yeah,
at the theater.
Oh,
That changes things.
That was the, and I quote, Stitch. have
the
you seen it
last
at the
hand-drawn
theater?
animation I saw. I might have. Did I go see Spirited Away at the theater? I might have.
Spirited Away. What would that be?
Ooh,
2001.
Spirited Away.
2001.
Maybe not though. I might have just waited for the. I can't remember.
It's like
I know I was disappointed. the first
Iron
time I saw it.
Giant, Osmosis Jones, Lilo and Stitch. That's where I'm at. And so that's like 2000, 2001, 2002. That was it for me. That was the last time.
Man, Princess Mononoke was 97. It just 90.
Oh,
the
Titan
ni-
AE. A often forgotten, disrespected little film there.
2000.
Titan AE. Which
that was my long
I
go.
love Titan
That was
AE.
my go-to demo disc for bass for like a decade. That the ice
Titan?
at the end, yeah, when they're in that ice, those giant ice crystals
Oh, yeah,
clashing
yeah.
together. It probably still sounds amazing. But I was just saying, like Princess Mononoke 97. What a year and what a decade for movies. I'm probably biased because that's when I was going to see all these movies. But
97 was also
I think
the Lost World Jurassic Park, right?
besides that
Pretty
one,
I'm not a high school. I can do what the hell I want. I'm
pretty sure that was
everything.
Fifth Element, if I'm not mistaken. Yep.
And don't
Bro,
forget
what was
about
the last-
Dante's Peak.
2D animation you've seen in theaters. You watched the Spy Family movie in theaters, right?
No,
Oh,
no, I didn't watch that.
Anaconda was 97.
Pokemon 2000. That's what the last DJ said.
Oh,
Shoot.
I've seen that one in cinema.
Yeah. uh-huh,
2D
yeah.
animation.
I've
I know,
actually
that's
seen the
2000, right?
I've seen the third
Yeah, in
Pokemon
2000.
movie.
Was
I've
it
seen the
2000 or
third
was it
Pokemon
98?
It's
movie.
either
in
the
the
Dragon.
cinema.
Is it
That's the
the
last
Dragon Ball movie or the One Piece movie? I forget
When
which.
Broly?
I
Yeah,
was a
Broly.
grown ass man. I went in there. I'm looking around.
I was 21. I
There
think.
was
It was
a couple blemishes
acceptable in those days.
in 97. I'm looking at the list. There was a couple blemishes. You had Spawn, Alien
Was
Resurrection.
2018? Jesus Christ.
Alien Resurrection, probably one of the worst
Shut the
movies
fuck up.
that year. Speed 2, that was pretty bad. The
Alien
Post.
Resurrection was the shit. I don't care what you say.
I actually
Yeah,
haven't
it
seen it since the year
I
Prometheus
just
came out.
rewatched it. with my kids, and they love
Let's
it.
go.
They love
Mortal Kombat, which I feel like the fight choreography didn't hold up, but it's still nostalgic as hell. Gattaca was 97. Fuck, that's old.
What was that?
Gattaca. I didn't know that was that old.
Oh, Gattaca. Yeah, Gattaca. I thought it was 96. 97. Oh shit.
Air Force One.
Air Force One.
Contact.
Get off my plane.
Liar, Liar. There's a lot of movies. Not all amazing, but 90s in
Liar,
general.
Liar was 97. I thought it was 98.
Call the Kevin Sorbo. Call the Conqueror. Remember that one?
No.
Oh
no.
Jackie Brown. Anyway.
That was a remake.
Was it?
Yeah, because Cole was like 80. I want to say like 82 or some shit. 83.
So I thought Robert mentioned this a couple weeks ago about how we used to have questions in the chat. We used to answer questions for like half a podcast or something. So I was going to throw that out there. If we're like something you guys want us to talk about or a question you're curious about, gaming related, feel free. I'll pay. Make sure put a question mark at the end. Obviously.
I like how Juice said gaming related, as if you don't spend half the podcast sometimes talking about
we were
movies
just
and
killing
film and
time
television.
until everybody got here.
Entertainment related.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Entertainment related.
See, Juice is saying that as an excuse, but just know when the podcast
When did you show up?
We'll be,
I didn't know I didn't know you were here.
we'll be here for another 30 minutes to an hour talking about films, movies, and probably sports not now because the season apparently I don't think is going on, but still.
How's the Expedition 33 treating you? Is it
Good.
overhyped or
It's
you
really-
liking it?
I'm liking it a lot. OST I like a lot. I like the world setting.
You can't
it's
buy
got
it
some cool
anywhere. I'm
levels.
just going to tell you right now. No, it's not available anywhere to buy physically.
What do you mean?
What
Physically?
do you mean?
Oh yeah, that game it's physical nowhere.
I ordered it on Amazon and keeps getting delayed.
Really?
Oh, you actually bought it.
Well, until I have it, I'm going to say
So you have it.
I might cancel it.
He's attempted to buy, is what he's saying.
Wait.
Go ahead,
I
Lenny.
didn't know that it was even a physical copy, to be honest with you.
I didn't either. I've only really seen people talk about the digital version.
No, it's
That's
I
good to know.
I don't worry about games anymore. I got Game Pass. I don't worry about buying
I don't-
physical.
I mean,
The irony is, T, how do you think I'm playing the game?
I
Through
know
Game
that's how you
Pass.
playing Game Pass.
Yeah.
I see
it's only $50 though.
uh,
It's not like it's a. I mean,
It's not.
That's when I saw that. I was like, I'll
It
support it.
ain't about the price.
It's just the convenience. Also, I'm paying
I
for Game
support-
Pass.
I supported that bitch too with Game Pass. It ain't like they put it on there for free. They
They getting paid
Microsoft
somehow.
paid them exactly. Microsoft gave them a nice
Hey,
piece
look,
of change.
they ain't making no money off their consoles.
Yeah.
$100 right now, yo.
Yeah, I'll be
You
curious
said
if it
what?
ever
You said
shows
what,
up.
Robert?
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
So this is a triple A-ish looking game
Made by 20 people.
made by 20 people.
I thought it was 30.
Looks beautiful.
Okay.
Maybe it's 30. And they put it out for $50. I'm tired of hearing this bullshit about the industry. Oh my God, they just can't do these games. They can't make games for less than $10 billion budgets. and
Well,
shit.
this was a former
It's
Ubisoft
nonsense.
dev who was just bored working at Ubisoft, according to the
I
story
don't blame him
saw.
for that. I can understand that.
And he
shit.
said he wanted
Yeah,
to,
'cause
he
it was-
loved Final Fantasy and he wanted to make something on his own. It's like, yeah, obviously you,
Oh,
have to have,
it's very-
you had to have some money. He had to get some money from somewhere because you don't.
Well, yeah.
I'm sure the game cost tens of millions, if even with 30
Consider-
people.
Considering
He
there
won't-
was
he-
no Kickstarter or anything, is a pretty well made game. You can tell there's a little jank in there, but it's nothing detrimental. Just hey, especially because the game looks gorgeous. Otherwise,
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
yeah. Battle system is really good so far. It's very interesting. It's one of the few RPGs I played that doesn't have a magic stat at all, which kind of throws me off because there's a fuck ton of magic you can do in this game. But I'm liking the customization. I'm liking the world. I'm liking the characters. It's cool. It starts off really dark, like really dark. Like I'm like, guys, shit. Like, can we?
Well,
Can I
the
get into
premise
some
is everyone
con-
dies at a certain age, not right?
Yeah, essentially.
like
This started at 100 years ago, and every time it hit an age, she killed everybody of that age. So when you turn 99, dead. 98, dead, and it kept on. And so now we're down to 33. The game starts with the 34s getting killed, by the way. So like, and then immediately we're like, all right, let's go on this expedition, guys. Which, by the way, hasn't worked in 67 years, but we're gonna do it again. Let's see if we learn from our predecessors. It's not great. It doesn't start off great. But it's been really cool. I like the looseness of the combat. You really gotta get the timing down on the parries and the dodges and stuff. And they switch it up by having the enemies they'll attack normally in kind of like a rhythm-like pattern to get the parries down, but sometimes they'll attack quicker or they'll attack slower to fuck your timing up. And it's interesting. It's been interesting so far. But I like it. I'm in what 6 or 7 hours into it, I think.
You think it'll hold my interest if it ever shows up?
I don't. It's hard because I don't really know. How many what turn-based game have you played that you liked?
That Legends Arceus I liked.
It's more. I'll say this: it's engaging enough, and I think if nothing else, you'll fall in love with the world.
It visually looks engaging. The combat.
I mean, I would say it looks more engaging than Arceus. So
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
The second area is just like this underwater level without you actually being underwater. It's a very weird feeling.
I just meant the combat looks visually interesting because at least I'm watching something happen other than the old days. Like your character move a little bit on screen and then attack.
Like Pokemon does.
Yeah, that's why I like Arceus. That's what made me consider buying it. It's you actually attack.
If you like this, you really play Paper Mario on an N64.
I knew that was gonna come up.
Interactive combat in terms of that too.
Maybe we should pick up.
Well, let's answer Lenny's question before we go any further in the gaming because he's still talking about anime films. Favorite?
Oh, go ahead.
Theatrically released anime film. So I already said mine, Princess Mononoke.
Shoot.
That's mine too.
Mine would be Your Name. Love that movie.
Gee, you said Ninja Scroll was up there too.
No, I thought he said Ghibli though. Isn't that?
No, just a Ghibli or theatrically released anime.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that. Yeah, my favorite all time is Ninja Scroll. I mean, that's just
I just rewatched that too. It's so
untouchable to me. It's
so good,
fantastic.
The animation, the stuff they.
Oh, that's hard. Fuck me.
Retro's got to have 10 favorites probably.
So actually, funnily enough, not to start shit, but I was fucking hated Ninja Scroll after I saw it, man.
Damn.
Of course you did.
Of course you did. No
surprise for you, unfortunately.
Me and Juice love it, so of course you hate it.
My favorite used to be Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind, but I hadn't seen when Marnie was there I hadn't seen that when it came out. And I think maybe 5-10 years ago, I finally saw that, and that dethroned it for me because I just like that slice of life Ghibli shit. There's just something to that can't be beaten. And when Marnie was there, I had that really philosophical element to it. Absolutely, that one.
Okay. So if I was being really nostalgic, I would have said a Pokemon film because I'm a biased piece of shit. And if I'm thinking Ghibli, I would have say Spirited Away. But if I'm being honest with myself, in recent years, it's probably A Silent Voice. That film.
Oh, that's a great one.
That's such a good film. You know what?
Did you want to cry? Did you cry?
I didn't cry. I didn't cry. I didn't cry, but it hit me way too. It hit me way too hard. It hit me way too hard, too early in the film, and it fucked with me for the rest of the film. We know how much I liked it. I went and read the manga for it. That's how much I liked it. I was like, all right, all right. You did your job. If you make me go look at other media for more content, you've done your job well. That's how I feel about it.
Well, I would recommend the director has The Colors Within that released this year, which was really good.
You have to send me the name of that one. Just send it in the chat. I won't remember probably.
But the one I just said, or
the one you guys.
Oh, Ace. About. Oh, I'll tell you. I'll send a link so you can see.
I'm trying to think of a runner-up. And honestly, I haven't watched that many full feature. I think Ghost in the Shell probably be number 2. And so I rewatched the first anime movie I ever seen that started my in the DVD VHS era started my obsession with anime movies more than I didn't watch series but movies. It was Tenchi is it Tenchi Mushu?
There you go,
Musho?
there you go,
No,
Terrell.
Muyo, Tenchi Muyo.
Tenchi
There you go, Terrell.
Muyo, the movie. Tenchi Muyo in Love was the first one I seen. Nice.
That's
And,
a very interesting.
I thought
way
it
to
was
start.
amazing, and I just rewatched it. The only place to watch it was on YouTube. It's not available, and I'm like, this sucked. Like,
Yeah.
why is it
Tenchi
even
Muyo,
called that? Like, he's Tenchi.
It's really. If I remember right, I think that's the OVAs bunched together. It's not real. It's a movie, but it's not really a movie. It's
It
and it's
felt like
funny
a
because
movie.
the funny thing is that Tenchi Muyo is a harem series. It's hilarious that that's the
So I went from
the
that to that
movie you watched.
Kasan or whatever somebody had to tell me the name of, and that's like a 4-episode miniseries, not even a feature film. And then I think I watched Cowboy Bebop. No, I watched the movie first, but I don't know if that was the next one. I think Ghost in the Shell maybe, but either way,
Did you see that, Juice?
I
Did you-
saw it. It's cool.
Oh, that's
I'm
neat.
rewatching it on
doesn't that,
VHS.
I'm not down with the. I don't care how much nostalgia involved. VHS is not. I'll never watch.
Too bad,
seriously.
man. Too bad for you.
They
It
had
doesn't get
a.
brought up a lot by people
Greatest,
who
man.
talk
Your
about
name?
anime.
I don't think that movie's as good as people say it is, Robert. I'm gonna be real with you.
You're crazy.
It's
You're
not.
crazy.
All right,
You're crazy.
Retro
The
saying
plot
something.
kinda-
Retro's
sorry.
about to say something controversial. I think.
I was just no, actually, it's not controversial at all. It doesn't get brought up by a lot of people who watch anime usually, but one of my top 3 would absolutely be Genro. Well, that's on
That sounds
old
familiar.
school
I might have
stuff.
seen that.
Genro is absolutely fucking amazing, with one of the best soundtracks in anime,
No, no.
without a doubt.
I also Vampire Hunter D was pretty good back in the day. I haven't watched.
That is really good.
That's a quality one. That's fine. We
Um,
take those.
Anyway, good question. And we were talking about Expedition 33, but I also wanted to give a shout out to Housemark on the 4-year anniversary of Returnal last week, Thursday,
Another
I
one of the
think.
greatest.
Oh,
stories.
nice. That's a quality one. All right,
Yeah.
We'll play, bro.
So last week, the 4-year anniversary of Returnal's launch, they did a free PS5 Pro upgrade, just bumped the resolution up and slightly more locked 60 FPS. So I was like, you know what? I haven't played this game in a couple years. Let me just put it on, play a little bit. Played 3.5 hours that night. Then I played 3 hours the next night, and I played 3 hours yesterday. I think I played 2 hours. Completely back sucked in, and I barely even touched that additional mode, Robert. Right when you played it, that tower mode, I just started playing that last night. I'm like, damn, I got to play more of this. And as much as I love it, there's one thing that I just can't forgive it for, and I'm trying to get the platinum, and there's these little ciphers, and they're in the same rooms there's 20 of them in one biome, there's 13 in the first biome or whatever, 20 in the next, and they're always in the same room. So once you find them, you don't have to find them again. But the last ones of the 2 I'm missing are in rooms that only show up like 1 out of 30 times people have calculated. And I'm like, I'm not gonna play this 30 times to try to find this. And it's hard to get to the 3rd biome with a decent. You can't go in there with your basic. You got to get your health build up. You got to get a decent weapon, some some perks or whatever. But either way, that game's really good, and it's just got me more excited for the next game coming out next year. But I can't believe it's been 4 years already. Like, I know the PS5 has been out 4.5. But
Yeah, it's nuts. I got
just-
one more anime.
Jesus
I think
Don't put it down.
Hero.
We're not gonna do this, Rock. My Hero is a okay series. That's the best you're gonna get out of me for that one.
Yeah.
I thought you loved My Hero. Like you're like obsessed.
No. I thought it was okay. I used to like it. Now I just think it's okay. That's where I'm at with it. That was my range.
Mm.
What was that? I can't see it. Oh,
I've only seen the
Hexon?
movies.
Damn. You haven't seen the series, Robert? What the fuck?
No, only the movies.
Why would you do that?
Why
There's
not?
a
I like
whole-
to go to the movie theater.
It's a whole anime series that you just don't watch. Did you ever see the Demon Slayer one that came out in theaters?
I did.
That's so weird for you to watch that,
I've
because
seen,
guess
like-
what?
I've seen
that's-
like the
that-
last 2 of them or whatever.
the irony is that's a part of the plot. That's the funny thing. So you just
But yeah,
watching
I know, but Mugen Train could still be its own like individual movie. Like if you
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
a standalone film, like it's
No, I can. You can definitely.
Same thing. I saw Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I think
That's part of the canon too.
and I saw
It's technically a prequel.
Obviously, I saw the Spy Family, but I've seen the whole first and second season. I saw the Spy Family movie. It is when they play anime stuff near in the theater. I'm like, I gotta go. They don't play it all the time. That means it's a good ass movie. I gotta go watch it.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. That's, so most of the stuff recently has been like actual stuff in the manga they've adapted, so I'm fine with it.
Wait, I do a little like if I look up like it says, oh, this is recapping the whatever. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna watch that. But
Yeah,
it's
'cause
like, oh, this could be a
no, it's actually like the movie was first, and then the anime second season came out, and then just reshowed the movie for that part
That's
of the
so
season.
I heard that. They make that so strange.
Because
So
the
why would
movie
they
was
do that?
the movie is first. It's actually the original adaptation currently, so
So weird.
that's
That's very
that's their
strange. though.
standard.
That's weird. Very strange.
It's a good film. I mean, it's a good film, and it adapts the arc well. There's
Yeah.
not really much that gets cut out or anything. The arc is short. That's why I think it works well as a film. And I think
Mm.
that's currently the best-selling anime film ever. Currently,
Yeah. 400 something million.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Makes me mad because they're better films. That's what makes
Well,
me
it's the
mad.
be-
About
it's
it.
the highest grossing movie in Japan ever, which
Yeah.
is, and the second highest is Spirited Away, I believe. Which it just
Quality,
shows how
quality.
it just shows how different that it's just a completely different universe in Japan, where it's like animation is just like we're animation, and then everyone else like, oh well, it's for kids and blah blah. No, this is we treat this
Oh no,
as
animation in Japan is like just as standard as
Oh yeah,
watching
Absolutely.
like an action film. It's just
Absolutely.
it's yeah. Wait, does that mean have you ever seen any of the One Piece films that came out in theaters?
I didn't because I saw some of them were
gonna
like
fight later.
You
more
only
like
watch just quality.
well, I've seen some of the
Don't
shows.
you fucking dare on here, Joe.
What did Retro say?
He said, oh, you only watch quality. That's why you didn't watch it.
Dude, One Piece is good. I've only seen like 40-some episodes out of 1,000, but
I'm
I've
sorry, don't
enjoyed what I
disrespect.
saw.
Don't
Oh, you
disrespect.
think it's good, but you only saw like 2%, man? You're allowed to do that now, Robert?
Oh my god.
Has anybody?
What I've
Does
seen, I
anybody have
enjoyed.
this one? Appleseed.
Appleseed.
I've seen. I don't know if I have the DVD for it. But
I didn't love this that much. That's a Ghibli.
No.
It's good.
you know how many girls would kill you for that?
What about this
How
one?
dare you?
Seen this one? Blood the
I'm
Last
an
Vampire.
Appleseed.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's the
I
original.
have
I
that,
know.
and I have the movie, the live action film.
Actually,
Yeah.
here's probably this is competing in my top 3. I know it's silly. It's kind of a simple movie.
No, it's
Good movie though.
I love this
Yeah.
movie. Like it puts me in such a good mood.
that's kind of the goal, man.
Exactly.
Just
You need
check.
feel good stuff
Yeah.
every once in a while.
So can we talk about video games
Yeah,
on
let's
our
have a
video
video
game
games.
podcast?
I had to. I was just looking for-
There's a reason why we stopped answering questions in the chat because like it derailed us so bad that by the time we got to the actual meat of the podcast, we had like 30 minutes
to be fair,
left.
though, that it depends on what we were talking about. Like if
Oh,
if
absolutely.
The questions,
So,
if the questions are,
I got
Or
an interesting comment. On
your
my
Juice Opinions?
Juice Opinions. I said
Yeah, I already knew it was about to happen.
in the chat because I was, I know some people don't want to hear this. I don't feel like Microsoft was going to $80 this holiday. I just don't feel like they were going to do that, or they were going to
No,
actually
probably.
have the balls to do it. I don't know. Maybe they were. I have no way to prove it. It's just my feeling. So I was just saying that, and some guy said, technically Microsoft, like literally, I should read it word for word, but basically, Microsoft is the first to go to 80 because they announced it's official on May 1st. So they're the first one. I'm like, Nintendo had pre-orders. They've already sold games at 80 via pre-order. They already took, I don't know if they technically took the money, but people have
they
already.
took my money.
They took the damn money. You charge your card.
I don't have it no more.
How could you? It was a a guy I recognized. I didn't think he was a defendo though. Like dude, you can't. You can't even argue that. Like obviously, there's been games that have had $80 editions, $90 editions before, but just like the base price, for a game being 80. I mean, obviously Nintendo did it. So it's seeing just comments like that. Just like, come on, man.
I'll say this: the comment was ridiculous, but I disagree with the original statement. I think I understand. I mean, it's opinion based, and obviously we don't have any proof.
Yeah,
one
there's no
or the
way
other,
to
but I
prove
think,
it unless they come right
yeah,
out. Even
but
if
I
they
personally
say,
don't. I personally believe Microsoft would have still went 80. It kind the
It's
problem with
solid.
Yeah.
yeah. My problem is this with Microsoft. It kind of doesn't matter because of one, what we mentioned, Game Pass. That's part of the reason why it doesn't matter. And then two, your console sell you weren't selling games well. Like your
so
console,
that's
like
not
I
going to
think
help
someone,
your game sales by raising the prices. I don't know.
I don't think they care because they're making money through PlayStation and Nintendo and PC at this point. I don't think their physical game
You
sales
think
were
the
ever
PC
killing.
games though? I mean, you're obviously that's
Yeah, well,
affect the
I don't know.
PC.
It's still gonna be $80 on everything. So I don't.
Well, no, I don't think people are buying those games like outright. I think people would. It just, if anything, it just increases the interest.
So
in
you
Game
don't think
Pass.
that Nintendo kind of
Well,
leading
I
the
agree with
way
that.
at all? You just think that was their plan and they just waited till May 1st to announce
Yeah.
it?
I don't think Nintendo
No.
doing it affected their decision to go to 80. That's all I'm saying.
I think it affected the timing maybe.
I'll give you
but
that. I can give you that.
Yeah, I think they were gonna do it anyway. Because, excuse me, months ago people were speculating that fucking GTA 6 was gonna be $100,
Mhm.
and they still think it might be $100. The industry, this was going to happen, regardless of Nintendo technically doing it first. So I mean, they have to take the blame for it, but this was already going to happen. And Nintendo has only announced one game thus far.
If you don't
That's,
count, if you don't count the Switch 2 editions, obviously.
Yeah, and I can't really count that. It's not really fair to do that, but yeah, they've only that's this was going to happen, regardless. And you know what? All these goons out here were already going along with it to begin with. So it'll be a little bit of moaning, and then everybody will be playing $90 games. And I ain't doing it because I'm game past that shit until the wheels fall off. And this is probably going to be the generation that I buy the least brand new games, for sure. So
I remember
it is what it
when
is.
Tears of the Kingdom launched and T boycotted that shit. He's like, I ain't paying fucking $70 for that game and stuff. I already paid $80 for that game, but apparently that doesn't matter to Juice. But I remember saying back
Damn.
then, they can charge $100 for Zelda. I'd still fucking buy it. I'm absolutely part of the problem.
200?
I don't care. I said it back then.
He said
when
100.
he
Relax.
literally
No, what about
because-
200?
Because
Relax.
he was boycotting. I remember specifically saying they can charge $100 for a new Zelda.
What?
I will fucking buy it.
If they didn't turn around and say the voucher shit, I still would have
Yeah,
bought that
T
game.
went the same route I did.
I still wouldn't be playing that shit.
Yeah, exactly. He
Valid
went the
for
same
that
route I did. We both went the vouchers.
Yeah.
Nintendo gave me an out, so I'm gonna take it. The fuck.
But I'll say this that yeah, I think the fact that Nintendo did it, it was just who was going to do it first. Everyone was convinced it was GTA 6 first,
Yeah.
but
The 100,
with the
you
delay
mean?
and everything.
That bitch
What?
got delayed.
You
Yeah,
mean
that's
$100 or just a higher price?
No, I
80,
just mean a
80,
price
80.
higher than 70. Whatever
Yeah.
a price higher than
Mhm.
70, like whoever was going to bump it up next. I think everyone was
What if-
convinced it was
what
going
if
to
the-
be GTA 6, and then
It's
people were
definitely going to be
around
higher
them
than
would be
70 now.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well, that's what I'm
definitely,
saying.
it's definitely going to be
That's what I'm
higher
saying.
than
The
70 now.
The irony of the situation is that Nintendo still is probably the more variable when it comes to their pricing for new games in general. Like Nintendo had games that range from, especially if you're going from like the Wii to now, everything from like 50 to 60, with Tears of the Kingdom being the only $70 game we had. Now I get why I understand why Nintendo will be blamed for it because you're first. You gotta take that L. But I think Microsoft, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Microsoft's thing said like it's like they're mainly their first party titles are just all gonna be 80.
Well, they
Call
didn't
of
say all. They
Duty,
said select titles.
Oh, did it say? Okay, all right. That's why I said correct me if I'm wrong.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be Call of Duty and stuff, but let's be for real here. I think Microsoft, they're taking this as like awesome. We could do this sooner, so Game Pass could look more appealing. It's like hell's yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Bump it up
win-win
so
for them.
Game Pass
They don't
is more
give a fuck.
Is it not?
I
Yeah,
think-
the Game Passes they're out essentially.
I think
You know what
though,
I'm saying? Absolutely.
if the outcry was met with also, I mean, like I said, I don't understand. You can't go off pre-order. You can't go over initial sales because the Switch 2 could, sell 10 million in its first 6 months, but it could end up at 60. Something could change that we can't even foresee. It could end up at 50, 60 million. You don't know just because the launch is successful. The PS3 launched really well initially at $600 back then. We don't know exact numbers, but
It did.
They
they
launched
were hard,
really well.
I would say they were hard to find because I was trying to find one for a couple weeks after they first
They
came
didn't have
out.
enough of them.
So maybe it was a shortage situation, but
Also, I thought because people to me to believe that Nintendo was the reason is if the game had came out.
I think it was the
and-
I think that I feel like it was that people didn't put their foot down and boycott and didn't, and the pre-orders seemed to do well.
People
Well, because not enough people believe it's an outrageous price.
Well, also the
unfortunately,
bundle
and
kind of
also-
the
well,
bundle
the other problem
eliminates the price.
the same people who were talking about boycotting are the same people who also were talking about pre-order guides. So kind of undercuts the.
But
the
if you buy
argument.
the bundle though, that negates you're not paying $8 for the game. That
Yeah, you're
negates
paying
it. So you
50
could
technically.
complain. I'd never buy Mario Kart for 80. Like,
Why do they do that? Why we talked about it a little bit last time. Why do they keep giving us these outs? Like you're saying, it's not actually worth $80 when you do that kind of shit.
And they don't do
I
bundle
think it's-
prices.
I think-
usually.
I
that's
think Nintendo.
confusing
I think for
where-
Nintendo, it's the same thing with Xbox. It's an out that still gives them more money. In Nintendo's case, it gets more console sales. So it's
Here's
like,
the thing, bitch. It's Mario Kart. That bitch gonna sell anyway. Like it's going to sell. Like
Yeah, of
so, you
course.
don't need to entice anybody to buy Mario Kart. Like I don't. That's why I don't understand it. It's not like, oh man, nobody wants to Switch 2. Oh, they're giving us this good deal here. Maybe I'll get one. No, it's gonna sell.
And they're
So
not.
I don't understand it at all.
They're
Like, I
not
don't
doing
get
it for anything else. You're paying $70 and $80 for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom if you want to Switch 2
Right.
physical. They're just taking the price of the game and the price of the upgrade and you combine it. They're not giving you any kind of bundled price for anything else. So,
That's bullshit, by the way. That's
Breath of the Wild's 8 years old, and you can't even give the DLC. Like, come on, man. Like, it's just.
Can't you buy that game
I think that
brand
one,
new for
that's
like
probably the most
45?
wild thing
like
to me.
like I said, if they had the Switch 2 edition, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom bundle for $100 physically, 2 separate boxes, 2 separate carts, $100, I'd consider buying it because that's $50 each, and I'd be like, that's a good value. Now you could sell them separately for 60 or 70, and then have the bundle be cheaper or something, but they're just not going to do that.
That's not a bad.
Right now,
Console, that's a fair thought.
brand new, you can buy Breath of the Wild for $43. I'm looking at it right here,
Mhm.
like 43. So why are you charging this arbitrary? Well, this is our price when it's
And
these
I
people
want.
are losing money. They got to be making money off of this.
I'd
I'm
love to
guessing.
have the complete game with all the updates on a physical cartridge, but I ain't paying $70 or $80 for that. Like it's ridiculous.
But Nintendo is not gonna do that.
And it's not. It doesn't even have the DLC, does it?
No,
No,
that's the
no
problem.
DLC.
I think that's the more offensive thing.
Still know that? Do we know
So
if it's going to be enhanced? I still have a feeling it won't be enhanced. That's
Which
Yeah,
one?
would that be something if the DLC isn't even in the high res?
Oh, that would be doo doo.
I don't know if you look at the update data though, it looks
that'd
like
be such a
it has to.
weird decision to make.
That'd be such a Nintendo move, though.
The file size
It's
just
my
suggests
theory.
that it does. But
Yeah.
The
Retro, were you gonna say
is-
something?
Oh no! All I'm saying is that because now you're like, they should put Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom with the DLC for $100. Remember a couple years ago we were like, people wanted the Twilight Princess Wind Waker dual pack, and even then we were saying,
yeah, I'm
they're
not
just
saying
never
they
gonna
wouldn't do
that.
it. I'm just
They're gonna
saying that
release
that
them
would be.
separately for a lot of cash. Because
It would be nice, is what he's saying.
I'm saying it would be nice, and I would consider buying it. That's what. I
But
was,
they're also the same company that did Super Mario 3D All Stars, and for some reason bundled 3 games that could sell separately,
Mhm.
but they put it for $160. It's
Yeah,
so
and
weird.
they
I don't know,
also
it's strange.
didn't add Galaxy 2 to that.
yeah.
Well, and they
What does
pissed,
that
they
but it's
pissed that
3
game.
games.
That
What are
game
you
is
talking
gone,
about?
by
It
the
doesn't
way.
matter. It doesn't matter. It's still 3 games that
can't
people
even
could
buy that
Yeah,
shit
but
anymore.
Nintendo's biggest problem is being inconsistent. Nothing they ever do is consistent. It's always this weird. We're super generous, kind of scammy, really scammy. We'll give you something generous again. What?
I know some
Well,
companies.
even if you're looking at the Switch 2, for example, no DLC with the Breath of the Wild, and you're paying $80. Okay, what the fuck? But you get free voice chat for like a year, huh? Why are These are our two dichotomies that flip all the time.
And what's the good of voice chat if you can't play online with your friends anyway? I mean, you're playing single player games, voice chat, I guess, to test it.
I mean, you could. I mean, they saw. I think they showed like the
I mean, a lot
Nintendo
of people,
Switch
that's what a lot of
Online.
people do. They hang out and,
Yeah.
and they talk.
Yeah,
They
but
showed it in the thing. Actually, they played only single player games in a lot of those trailers. Actually,
And
yeah.
The year of the era of Nintendo doing this shit is
Oh, yeah.
over. Like, they forget about it. This is a goddamn pre-order bonus. A pre-order
I didn't
bonus.
get the one in your right hand or the other one. I got that one, but I didn't get the silver.
You didn't get
My
the,
buddy had that.
I can't remember what this came with. I forget. Does anybody remember? I cannot remember.
Is that the Master Quest?
No.
No, this is the first 3 games with Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Has Ocarina of Time on it.
The other
It has,
one's just
the
Ocarina of
1,
Time
2.
and the Master Quest.
Or 1 and 2 and Ocarina of Time.
That's the last time I played Ocarina of Time was on
And-
the GameCube on that disc.
Because
So,
my
Majora's
Wind
Mask,
Waker, my
Ocarina of
Wind
Time,
Waker,
first 2.
like my Wind Waker copy on the
It's weird.
GameCube has a second disc inside. That is, I think, the Master Quest.
Yeah, we
and
got it in a
Ocarina of
separate
Time,
disc.
something like
Actually,
that.
I think it came earlier. You got it sooner before Wind Waker.
Wait, what happened?
Didn't that come? Wasn't that pre-order bonus? I feel like I got mine before Wind Waker came out. I feel like I.
But in Europe, at least my copy has the
Yeah, I got mine before Wind
2
Waker.
discs in the
Okay,
case.
they put it in the same package where we got two
Yeah.
Well,
separate.
but the thing is, again, like I was saying, like I was saying that Super Mario 3D All Stars, came out only a few years ago, and it was 3 games bundled into one. When they really, genuinely, could sell Super Mario 64 as a physical copy, nothing else changed, and for 60, and people would buy it.
I don't think 60.
But that's why Terrell
I
says.
think you know why I say
system.
that? Super Mario All Stars Collector's Edition on Wii. Super Mario All Stars on Wii was a Super Nintendo game physically sold.
That was some bullshit, too.
And people bought it.
They would
This
have to
isn't
do
even
more
the
than
year-
an emulated version, though. They
Yeah, but
It's right
that was a
here.
little different situation because you're talking about people who got really excited for the Wii, especially early on, were like NES guys and shit. And they showed the Virtual Console that got them all excited. I think a lot of those people, I know Nintendo did some research and they saw a lot of those people. Yeah, they would have bought a new copy of a fucking Super Nintendo game, no problem. But I don't think that would have been the case on something like even the
I
Switch.
do think they could
where-
have sold the Super Mario Sunshine, where they did technically widescreen and all. I think
Yeah, they could have done Sunshine for sure. Yeah.
And Galaxy.
with
I think
that.
they could have sold those. two
Sunshine and
separately.
Galaxy, I think so.
I watched
you could have sold those.
Still.
a video essay on Sunshine last week, or
Was
maybe it was just Nintendo. I think it was
we're not
Nintendo.
gonna do
Was
this
it
thing
GVC.
GVG?
Oh,
Yeah,
shit
GVG.
again.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yep. Next topic. Oh.
And yeah,
Damn.
he hit on all the points. I mean,
Oh, he did. He so hit it right on the head. That's so good.
anyway,
Some people just hated fun, and that's why they don't.
we
want
don't
to
have to
listen
go back
to
that
shit.
far to have an example. We can just talk about the Switch 2, even though it's not on a cart. Street Fighter 6 for $60 with all the characters and stuff. That's if you paid for that separately. If you bought the game for $60 on PS5, Xbox, it was on all, PS4 and Xbox One, and then you paid for the first fighter pass and you paid for second, you're at like $120 plus. And I don't know if this comes with all the stages or not, but well over 120 here, and they give it here $60. This game's a few years old. We're reselling it. We know it's it's gotten a price. I paid like $40 for it, and that's how the games usually work. 8-year-old game, you can't just say, well, we still sell it for 60, so obviously we're gonna add 10 to that for the upgrade, and here you go, $70. I mean, it's just, I guess it just goes back to Nintendo. They do sales, but they never do permanent price drops on games, which is good. I think for the first couple years, that's a really good thing. But
They do. You forget.
they used to do. They used to. I just meant on
well,
and
something they
Nintendo
used
Select.
to. Player's choice and shit.
the Wii U
Player's
had 'em.
choice. Select and Nintendo Selects. They did. They permanently
Yeah.
dropped prices
I really
until
thought
they
it
re-released
would
the
be
games on
Nintendo
Switch
Select.
and we're like, get rid of that.
I think I think most of us expected the Switch to do that at some point. Early
So-
on.
And maybe they still will.
Yeah. No, they're gonna
But I
sell
was-
them as
Here's the
Switch 2
thing.
editions.
There's no reason to not do it other than we want more money.
Oh yeah, of course.
They sell in hand over fist. They
Especially-
sell in these games.
Especially the games that stall. The sales completely stall out. ARMS. I mean, after a while, then you get people to, oh, I'll check that out now. It's like now on a disc-based system, that's a lot easier than a cartridge-based system. They still have to, still cost them more on a cartridge. We don't know how much those Switch 1 carts, but their games weren't that big. So
Is it a situation? Because I don't remember on Wii. I guess were there selects on Wii? I
Yeah,
don't remember.
and on 3DS.
yeah,
They were on
Well,
Wii.
they got them on the
And
Super
Wii U.
Nintendo even, man. The Super Nintendo.
Well, I was gonna say, maybe they started doing it only on the consoles that didn't do well, because the GameCube obviously didn't
that's
sell
true.
as well. The Wii U obviously didn't sell as
But the
well.
Wii had
and so they would drop the price
Did the
to
Wii,
entice
though?
people.
Yeah,
I can't
have
I
a
don't
picture,
few.
remember
like-
that on the Wii. I don't
I
have
do
any
have a few.
selects.
I can't picture like Galaxy or any of those games, but like Metroid
I'll
Prime
tell you right now,
3.
it was a small. I think it was a smaller library though. Like it was.
I want to say it was like maybe Kirby, maybe Kirby
I
Epic
don't. I take
Yarn.
it back. That was not that small. It's actually a decent. Oh wait, no. Well, okay, in North America there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 select games
Still,
out of the whole library.
they were 20.
That's
I'm
still
sure they were
a
20.
decent amount. Yeah.
No, but Europe had a lot more. Is what I'm saying. Like Europe actually had like almost double.
So,
And
yeah.
actually, okay, here's something interesting. I can't. It doesn't look like there's any in Japan. So I don't think Japan ever did a select,
Yeah,
even on Wii
probably.
U. So maybe that was more of a America initiative in like other
Probably
initiative,
to get to sell more.
and Japan was like, we ain't doing that anymore.
Yeah, just saying we ain't doing that shit. We making
'Cause,
our money. And
I mean, somebody.
we're
I think-
selling.
I had
We're
a
selling
sim-
a tour.
I had another I think it was the same. It was the same guy said, or no, it was a different
Console
person.
tour.
He says, "Well, the Switch 2 editions of Breath of the Wild aren't for you. They're not for us. They're for people who never bought the game."
They're
It
not
sold
for anybody.
34
They're not for the
million.
price.
It's for. They're trying to get everybody. They're trying to get people to double dip. They're not saying, "Oh, we don't expect anyone to buy this again." They definitely want the Breath of the Wild fans to buy this too. And it's like if you didn't buy
I'm
Breath,
definitely upgrading. Tears of the
Thank you,
Kingdom.
Heart and
That's
Soul.
cool.
Thank you.
You don't gotta
So,
it's free
upgrade
up.
because you're on part of the.
No, I'm part of the plan. I know,
Thank
but
you.
I mean,
Now I
even
remember.
if I wasn't, I would upgrade it.
Thank you. So yeah, Heart and Soul explained that this came with a subscription to Nintendo Power. God damn it!
Oh,
That's
okay.
that, I remember that now. That's how you got this, a subscription to Nintendo Power. That's which I already had anyway, and they just gave me. that
Imagine
shit, so.
like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, whatever they select for $20, ARMS for $20, Splatoon 2. After three's out now, so no one's gonna buy Splatoon anymore. But or 2, I mean.
Right, that makes sense. Drop that bitch to $20.
Bayonetta. Well, Bayonetta 3 came out pretty late, but just games that they had their sales and then they just really slowed down. Like Luigi's Mansion 3 would be a good fit. Just Animal
I'm
Crossing
still waiting
probably
till I
wouldn't
don't
need to.
have to pay
Donkey
60.
Kong Country Tropical Freeze Deluxe.
I'm still waiting so I don't have to pay $60 to pay 3D World DLC.
Hey, I got mine. You see, I showed mine. I got my Bowser's Fury. I gave in. It was $38. So I was like,
Oh,
all
you
right,
did get-
that's good enough.
Yeah.
I paid
I just got it.
$45, I think.
Well, I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
Well, he played it. He played a good
Oh, I
chunk
played it.
already at my
A huge
house.
chunk.
With
his house,
Sans-
yeah.
I think when
At
Sandstorm was there, before you got there. But yeah, it's just kind of disappointing, like just the whole thing. We know what Nintendo can do. They got the money to do. We know they have a history of doing stuff, not necessarily like, a lot, but at the same time, it's just. I don't like honestly. If I can't get, let's say my only option is the Switch, the 450, Switch 2. I'm not buying Mario Kart until I can get it cheaper. I'm not gonna pay $80 for it. So I'll wait months if I have to. Like, I'm just not gonna do it. Now, eventually there might be a game where I'm like the next Zelda in 4 years, 5 years, whenever it comes out. If that's 80, we'll see. But I've only bought 3 $70 games so far. And that's another point. 70 wasn't even fully adopted yet. Like a lot of third parties have jumped on the bandwagon, but it's not 100% $70 across the board. I mean, there's still games up until Monster Hunter Wilds. All the Capcom games were 60. And, there's been a lot of other games 60 that didn't jump to 70. So it's kind of weird. I know, we've had ridiculous inflation and stuff and cost of everything going up, but it just felt like we didn't even settle on into 70 yet, and now we're jumping up. So whatever.
I don't know. I don't like this idea of blaming inflation because we've had big inflation booms before. This is not new. And also we had like a fucking crash in 2008, and I don't remember stuff shooting up
Yeah.
in price during that either. So
there's other factors. Like I was literally thinking just this morning that something I didn't think about is, with the extreme cost of PC hardware. Well, these companies have probably hundreds of PCs that maybe they upgraded, maybe they didn't, but the companies are profitable. So that's money they have for stuff like that they, like at my work, they're like, hey, we got like $10,000. You got stuff we need. It's just money set aside, budgeted for this year. You lose it if you don't spend it. And so we bought a bunch of stuff. There's that kind of stuff that goes in play. And my big point is just how much money Nintendo had made off the Switch generation. Breath of the Wild, 34 million sold with barely a price drop. 1 year, I think it had a bundle where it was 300 with Breath of the Wild digital, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't even remember that. I don't think that ever happened.
I feel like they did a one Black Friday. It was 3 games, and I believe it wasn't.
I didn't even 3 games.
What's up, Nia? She left a comment.
Video game, her up in here. What's up?
She's playing Expedition 33. I see.
Oh yeah.
Quality.
But yeah, it's just like
I'll get around to it. It's too much on Game Pass, man. It's too much good right now. I can't get to it. I'm trying.
You can. You gotta believe in yourself, man.
It's like Kit and Krista pointed out when they closed the California place. Nintendo's never made more money, and then they're consolidating to save money, closing down the whatever it was, the San Francisco branch.
And they weren't happy about that.
They've made so much money off Animal Crossing, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Smash Brothers, Breath of the Wild.
We know for a fact, Breath of the Wild, they only needed to sell 2 million to break
they
even.
sold 30 something.
It sold 28 million more than that.
Billions of,
like, come on, man.
Pure profit, and that's, you follow that up with some of the highest pricing they've ever done on across the board. It's like, it's just, I don't know.
This ain't about them being broke. This is, we want to get into our next tax bracket.
That's that, but also, do you remember when they were talking about, like, they literally said that when the Mario movie's profits, they started putting that into Mario Wonder's development.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
But isn't that so strange that why wasn't? What do you do with all the other profits? Like, what is all the other profits?
The word used to.
Why do you have to wait for a movie to do good to put it into your game development? Like, what is the other profits?
Yeah, bullshit.
People used to theorize, or they thought maybe it was confirmed back in the day that Nintendo would use the success of the previous game to help fund the next game. I thought that was the Nintendo way. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like I said, like if it made $2 billion in revenue, even if it cost $200 million to make that game, you still got 1.98 billion. Like,
well, even if it cost $1 billion,
and it's like man, like that's what bugs me more than anything. I guess it's like I know how much money they've just been raking in, and to follow it up with this kind of stuff, it's
but I guess at the same time it's like realistically, like we said, we all said that games were eventually going to go to $80.
Eventually they're going to go to 7. I thought they'd all go to 70 first. Like,
no, I get that, but we didn't expect Mario Kart World to be $50 because they made a lot of money, or $40 because they made a lot of money. Like, at some point they were gonna go up, right? So they just thought they were the first ones, and it's like,
well, they didn't even go to 70, really. I mean, they one game, so they just said fuck 70.
Technically, this is only one game. Maybe you'll never get another $80 game. I mean, obviously they won't, but my thing is that it's like, just because a company makes a lot of money doesn't mean they're gonna start lowering other things because they made a lot of money. Like let's be for real.
If that was true back in the day, where they used the funds to help from one game to help develop the next game, then it's like, I don't know. It just feels to me, just the timing of it. They weren't going to do it after Wii U. Obviously, you can't just do all this ridiculous price raise, gouging and stuff after a failure. But at the same time,
And yeah, maybe Air says that maybe they think of that. It's like they think long term. They're like, yo, if we ever get another Wii U situation, we want to make sure we're all
They
good.
got.
They're being a
I don't
company.
know.
I think that's what we're all saying here.
It's not
They're being a company.
But they're,
I don't know.
honestly, you brought up the $50 thing. Mario Kart World at $50 would make them $1 billion still. Like.
You're right, but
Yeah.
but what companies
Well,
want
why not
to
make
lower
$2
than
billion?
Well, here's the
I get it,
thing.
but, like,
What?
you just gotta be realistic with it. Like I
It's
didn't
more
think
money. I mean,
I didn't think
of
they're
course.
gonna be the 1 to 80, but like at the same time, it's like, I guess you could say, well, you would just expect it to be 70 or 60, but at the same time, it's like, if
What?
we all expect that they're gonna eventually go up, they just were the first ones, and it is what it is.
So
sort of
what?
thing.
What lifetime sales of Mario Kart World? What like low side would you be like? Maybe the price affected the sales of this game. Like, if it sold, I use the 20 million in my example. Like, if it only sells 20 million, I would feel like something went wrong there. Like, that Nintendo would probably be very disappointed in Mario Kart World selling 20 million. And then it's
Which is crazy, but I guess so.
They
Yeah,
sold
'cause
60 million more copies of a game that was already super profitable already in
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8.
so.
Like,
At what point
come
do you
on.
think you'd feel pretty comfortable saying, well, I think the price affected the sales? Like, if
I guess it would be that 20 million. Like if it ends capped at 20 million, like then you'd be like, damn. I guess
20
which
million
is
after
which
how
is
long?
8 years.
the whole lifetime.
I mean, yeah, that's bad.
I'm not saying it'll
And this
happen,
thing,
but
technically, that's amazing, right? But for Mario
I'm
Kart
telling you guys
standards,
now,
technically,
this $80 price tag isn't gonna change shit. Mario Kart is gonna sell fucking numbers, and it's gonna affect the pricing of games to come.
I don't
oh
expect
yeah,
it to
we're
hit
all
Luca
screwed.
Luck,
We're screwed
though.
here. This is,
well, just
it's
think
going to sell.
for every 10
We're all
million
screwed.
it sells, that $10 price increase is an extra 100 million in their pocket for nothing.
Yeah.
It's gonna
you know?
sell 20 million after like a couple
Well, I
of
want to
months.
say for
man.
nothing again, but
No,
I
for
mean, it is
nothing.
what it
Like literally, it didn't cost. That game didn't cost them any. I don't think anywhere near Breath of the Wild.
is. You don't
budget.
know that, though. You literally don't know that. You factually don't know that.
I don't
that's
know
right.
it,
It's
but
open world for it, man. Like I don't know.
They
there's
definitely
no
put
way.
money towards
It's
the game, man. They've been working on this game.
I don't think
It's
there's
definitely
any way.
one of their. I mean, obviously, I don't know either, but I'm sure it's one of their most. It's probably right under Tears in Breath of the Wild, or higher than that. So it's like
Anyway, we got to get to
Anyway, let's just keep
the
going.
the main topic. We got a question here. I think I see a question mark. So, did games like Bayonetta, Arms, or Astral Chain make much money? I mean, I would say they were profitable. $2 million for Arms
Yeah, they made money.
at
definitely
$60.
made
Astral Chain, Bayonetta, I think they all sold $1 million.
Yeah.
If Breath of the Wild
Yeah, they
needed to sell $2 million, I'm guessing Arms, Bayonetta, Astral Chain didn't need to sell anywhere near.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think they're
for sure.
profitable. They weren't
Arms
crazy.
sold
They weren't
over-
huge.
Arms sold over 2 million.
Yeah, they weren't.
Yeah.
Arms 2 wasn't gonna fund Mario Kart World. I'm not saying, but it was profitable. I don't think did they have any flops?
Mario Kart 8. It's fucking funded as
Did Nintendo have
They
any
funded-
flops? You think that lost money on Switch of first party published games or any?
not a one. I mean, the only
No.
ones I can think of that were probably on the cusp is like.
I would be curious with Famicom.
Game and Wario or something like that. It's
Crafted
probably
World maybe.
Princess
No,
Peach.
that sold over $1 million.
Did it?
no.
What about Advance Wars? I
Wait,
think
wait,
Advance
Crafted
Wars
World,
might.
that's
wait,
sold
wait.
over $1 million.
Yoshi's Crafted World? Yeah, Yoshi's
That's
Crafted
still over
World.
$1 million. I would say maybe,
That's what I was
maybe
saying. Even what we consider like the worst Nintendo games, they still will fucking hit that million.
Yeah.
They always do.
Yeah, but I would say I would be curious because one thing that I still like is that they still fund a passion project like MEO, Famicom Detective. I'm sure that's like super low budget, but I'd be curious to see how much that sold because we haven't seen one sales figure on that at all. I bought it because I wanted to support it, but it was like, yeah, I don't know if. But I'm glad it's literally a passion project they funded to Sakamoto, where he's like, all right, do it. So it was like,
And
I don't know. That's probably one that would be maybe didn't make money. That was one that
Yeah.
maybe didn't make money. But
Nia Arms 2. It's called Glide X Ride or whatever. That's your Arms 2.
Don't you ever.
Slide,
Don't you
drag,
ever.
X, drive.
Don't you
Dare,
ever.
Not,
How dare you, sir?
That was wild.
It's called one generic looking arena with some generic kart robots.
That big guy.
I wouldn't call that generic. The car robot though. I haven't seen that. It just generic art.
They all
style.
look the same. Yeah, they're just different colored of the same thing. So anyway,
That game remind me of? What is it? Oh, that game has Federation Force looking graphics
It does.
to me. Huh?
That's
It does.
that very
That's what it
Federation.
reminds me
Ball
of.
Blast.
No, but Federation Force looks a lot better in terms of.
No. I'm talking about
Just
like
the picture
what's the little mini game
Ball
shit?
Blast.
That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, the ball blast. Who said that?
We were all
Yeah, wait,
excited.
basketball, right?
That's
We
an
all
old
said
memory.
ball
That's
blast.
it you, Robert? Ball blast.
Is
I
it
think that
Blast
was
Ball
red.
or Ball Blast?
It was so
I think it's
random.
blast ball, and then we call
Yeah,
it
you
ball
know,
blast.
Oh,
We were
shit.
dying over that back in the day. That's hilarious.
I mean, Nintendo does pay
Well,
for exclusives and stuff, but so that's a good. So Switch 2, you know, people, we're not going to talk about what the power level we think is or what it is, what it isn't. The fact is, it's a lot more powerful than the Switch 1, and not just that, but it's got a lot more. It's got a lot more I think quality of life. You're gonna have fast loading times. You have mouse control. You got different control options. You got a bigger screen. You got, you know, the games are gonna look beautiful. So with that in mind, games or IP that haven't been announced at all, that you just can't wait to see what these teams are gonna be able to do on the Switch 2. And I mean,
I would think everyone's thinking the same, which is Star Tropics.
I was thinking Golden Sun. I'm close, but no. Actually, Mother 4 or whatever, Earthbound 2.
I mean, hey, look, I would. That's so
It's
that
time
would
for
be.
Mock Rider. We gotta have Mock Rider.
What's the question specifically?
Urban champion.
Those are joke answers. No, like an IP or a game that you're really looking forward to seeing or getting announced or releasing on the Switch 2 now that, you know, these dev teams are going to have access to all the power of the Switch 2 and just, you know, more than that, more than just a new game, you know, hopefully like Monolith Soft comes to mind because they always just push the systems. They do things that that seem possible on the system. And obviously we know they're making a new game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets revealed later this year or early next year. Can't tell. Star Fox.
That's it, man. That's all I want. You got put out this powerful of a console. I don't get a Star Fox, I'm gonna be upset. So you better get on it, Nintendo. You better get on it.
A new Kid Icarus. That's I'd like.
New Kid Icarus.
I want to play Uprising, but I'm not gonna play it on 3DS. I'm sorry. So
I mean,
It sounds like you don't like good games. I'm hearing.
like my
Play it on
chances
emulation, bro. You
actually
can have
obvious.
the second stick and everything.
And
Retro.
you're gonna have Animal Crossing, of course.
That's
man.
that's gonna look
Absolutely.
incredible.
New Horizons just looked gorgeous, and I don't want them necessarily to graphically enhance it. I want the game to just be fucking bigger and for them to take advantage of it in that way. And I'm sticking with my original answer as always. I want fucking F-Zero, especially now with what the Switch 2 can do.
Yeah. Just seeing Mario Kart World's water. I mean, I don't expect a wave race anymore. I've given up like actually expecting it. I would love to see what they could do with like dedicated water physics and, you know, make that.
Bro, GX still looks fucking good, man. That shit still holds up. I want that next gen F-Zero, because that's something where Nintendo would actually, you know, not saying that the new games don't look incredible, but F-Zero, that's where you put those fucking graphics in, you know, like.
I imagine like Animal Crossing, they don't have to go crazy with like the raw visuals, but imagine like just like this really realistic, I know not realistic,
extra
but some real world like actual dynamic lighting that just takes it to the next level. A lot more.
Yeah, that's the kind of evolution I would be looking for.
Obviously, the higher resolution, you know, HDR, all that stuff's gonna make these games look amazing.
I want the villagers to have human eyes. that shit would be creepy as fuck.
Terrell, you thinking of anything?
Senran Kagura.
No, that's not even Jesus Christ.
He would be
I'm a simple man. Give me. You already said Monolith Soft, which is what I was looking for.
H-double-D Rumble.
Well, Nia's here, so Xenoblade Chronicles 2 remastered, a remake for sure.
I was a Monolith Soft Intelligent Systems. I would love to see Fire Emblem rocking, seeing how crazy they can get with that one, and then probably Game Freak, because of course I will. I'd be very curious to see how they handle.
They'll probably have a game that
PS4
looks
level.
as good as something on Switch 1, probably like a regular developer's Switch 1 level. of visuals.
I'm not. I already knew this was gonna happen. It is what it is.
Like a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 level, maybe. But
with the high res.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll really surprise us. Do you think they're gonna push the system and have another like issues with frame rates and stuff, or you think?
I mean, I would hope, considering you're giving yourself an extra year, which is not what they usually do. Their development cycle's normally been 3 years. We're going into this would have been the third year, and we're not getting a new mainline game. So I'm hoping that fourth year is dedicated to cleaning up, bug fixing, whatever Generation 10 is going to be, which will probably be out next year. Pokemon's problems are beyond just graphics. Like, to me, that's kind of the smaller issue. I want them to treat Pokemon like an RPG and stop pretending it's not. But that's a whole other issue. I'm not gonna get into that. But I would look forward to seeing what they do with a fully realized world at a proper frame rate and resolution. Those are like my three. Honestly, I think in terms of IPs that I would be excited about, it's games I already have. Realistically, I would just want new shit that just surprised me. Honestly, let these developers take a crack at something either they haven't done in a while or not done at all. I mean, that's how we got Splatoon, for God's sakes. Was letting them experiment, so and I'm down for that.
ARMS, like trying new things.
Absolutely.
I would say like, obviously, I'm really excited for 3D Mario. I think take away the destructive environments, and I think I'm not saying Bonanza looks bad, but it's obviously more scaled down, I guess, visually because of all the destruction, all the environmental stuff you can do. That's going to be a sacrifice. So I just want to see like the main that team
sacrifice.
Doing a full it doesn't have to be a full 3D like 64 and Odyssey style Mario, but just a 3D Mario game. Just 2 years from now, just push that, have that art style. I don't really want it to look like the movie because I'm not a big fan of the movie style. I don't like the washed outness of the brightness of the colors.
I don't think it will.
I'd agree with that. I don't like the washed out.
I'd almost like
that's about it.
Like Wonder in 3D, like that, almost that style in 3D.
Yeah.
Kind of. So that would be incredible. I mean, I don't know that they're gonna do a Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers looks incredible on Switch 1, but if they had that extra horsepower to build a game, not just port Ultimate and up res, I think that would probably be incredible. I mean, even like Yoshi, like give us a Woolly World quality Yoshi with just I don't care if they want to use the Crafted World style again, just have that be at a decent resolution and really amazing, that everything's made out of cardboard and fabric and stuff. I'd love to see that.
The Crafted World looks good. It just
they mastered Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
And they figured out, like a lot of other companies that use Unreal Engine 4 on Switch, is you got to run it at pretty low resolution. I forget what that one was, 640p maybe, 540p, I forget, but I mean,
it was Vaseline.
Oh, did anybody say was it next or
you can do a next level game for Luigi's Mansion?
Imagine what they're gonna do. Luigi's Mansion 3. I mean,
nuts. They had some of the best animation on Switch 1,
And they've been making a game probably now for a couple years, so I don't think we'll have to wait too long. Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, so maybe next year.
New Pokemon Snap too.
That's a gorgeous game. So
and that's one of the best looking Switch 1 games. So imagine
it is. It
will look insane.
I'm curious to see how Age of Imprisoment's going to turn out, like as far as visuals and performance. If you can't don't put a 60 FPS mode if it's going to run 35, 40. Just lock it to 30 at that point. Just have a consistent frame rate in those games, and that would be something. But I'm anxious to see what looked pretty good in that trailer.
A consistent frame rate in a Musou game?
Until today, I played Hyrule Warriors DX, man. That new Hyrule Warriors better fucking run at 60 FPS. I'm sorry, because like as much as I love Age of Calamity, that ran like garbage for a Warriors game.
I don't remember it. I mean, I know
There's areas for sure where it's like this
Yeah.
is like
Compared to the first Hyrule Warriors, which
Oh,
on
yeah.
Wii
Oh,
U
yeah.
already ran great.
First Hyrule Warrior spanks it.
Yeah.
Performance wise,
especially with the Lionels, all the three or was it two? I think there was a fire and this ice one, and it's just it's chugging. It was like
when you get into the fucking Divine Beast, forget about it.
It's like Ocarina of Time. Felt like
That
Ocarina
shit
of Time
was
frame
chugging,
rate.
what?
The
But
final
I
boss.
love the ambition.
Mhm.
I always love the ambition of those games. So
It's still a great game, but yeah, I just
Yeah.
think the next one better just run.
How was
better.
your game of the year that year?
This is
Oh, and I
his
stand
dream
by
game.
that. It's absolutely amazing game. It fulfilled a dream that I had in a long time, but nothing stands the fact that the DX ran way better and honestly looked better.
Man, yeah, I didn't get that. I mean, it wasn't the story I wanted, but it was still a cool little addition to the story.
Yeah.
But there were some moments that hit pretty hard, I thought.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a really good kind of left field.
I thought it was just going to
turn.
be a straight prequel story. I hope
Right.
Age of Imprisonment is just what happened, filled in for
During
what
the
we didn't
imprisoning
see,
war.
and not just be some alternate universe version
To
of
be
it.
fair, they said now that it would be, and I don't know if they said it for Age of
I think we
Calamity.
just kind of. I remember Clocked It made the Ultimate Trilogy video, the Age of Calamity,
yeah.
Breath of the Wild, and the sequel, and didn't really pan out. But yeah, Xenoblade Warriors would be welcomed. I would love that.
I'd be down.
I honestly agree with Retro, and I would want something out of left field. I would want a Mario Warriors.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
more.
Falcon
Give it something
Punch,
that's
yeah.
not swordsman only,
Oh, come
and
on.
more people go. You know.
There's Mario frying like 100 Goombas simultaneously with crazy fireballs and stuff. Absolutely.
That'd be great. And you play as a bunch of random ass characters, and great. That could be fun.
That'd be dope.
I think.
Well,
What
the
about
IPs,
third
I
parties?
mean-
Like, what about third parties like making an appearance on IPs? I mean, we've had some on Switch.
Are you talking about like games that already exist or like?
just like franchises, or maybe a game, a port.
I want the remakes. I want RE2 remake. That's all I need.
I
Capcom,
don't
you give
want
me that.
any old games. I want a new Rayman.
You're not gonna get that.
I'd love an
for sure.
exclusive
I
Resident
want a
Evil
new
game. I don't know
Rabbids
that's
Go
a-
Home.
You're definitely.
Man.
Well, you might.
Yeah,
That's more likely than Rayman. That's how bad.
Really? You think so?
I think
No,
Rabbids
there's
games
no
more.
way.
I ain't hating. I'm just saying the Ubisoft of today don't give a
When's the
shit
when's the
about
last
either.
time when's the last time you seen Rayman in a
They don't
proper
give a-
game that
Right.
wasn't in a DLC for a Mario
DLC?
game?
Right, that
It
wasn't in
was
Mario.
Rayman
It was-
Legends. It was Ray.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Rayman Legends
okay.
is over a
That
decade ago.
2014.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So to be fair, that
Forget
Rabbids
about
is newer. But I mean, look, Rabbids Go Home too. I always say that's what I want. If I had the money, I would fund it.
I mean, I'll go home
myself.
right now, Robert. I mean,
I don't know how
Mega
much it
Man
costs, but if I won the
Legends.
lottery, I'm going to Ubisoft and I'm
You
buying
probably
out
need,
the
like-
IP.
You need like
Yeah,
50.
Yeah, how do we not have
probably.
Mega Man
Yeah.
Legends remake, remaster, not remaster?
I went for
but
Mega
remake.
Man's 12. We haven't 11's been out for a while.
No, Legends, not 11.
I know, but I'm
Legends,
saying,
like,
I'm
is that
saying,
Oh.
no,
war
I'm
game?
saying, I'm just
Oh,
surprised
okay.
they haven't done another Mega Man game
Yeah.
in general.
I'm surprised you got a Mega Man 11 around there, but that's
It
surprising.
was well received. It was just like, hey, okay,
Yeah.
cool, you made a good game. Can we get another
No.
one? We'll see, bud.
We made money, but we ain't make the big money. We want big money. We ain't got time for small money. These
Yeah.
companies don't care about small money, man. They ain't got time
Yeah.
for that. That's
I
why you
wanna
don't
I
see
mean, they
see-
still
Rayman.
making they still making Phoenix Wright games. I think they care a little bit about small money.
Are they?
Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, I mean
Ain't blowing.
the last one was the greatest Dirty Chronicles, and then to be fair, like everything else has been just remakes and stuff. But like,
Yeah, they're just remaking stuff.
to be
for the
fair,
most
they're
part.
running out. They're running out. They got to do
Yeah.
something new now.
No, they literally
they got
they have run
equipment.
out. I
Well-
want to be they have run out.
Some people think that there would be they wouldn't be able to do 5 because of the setting it takes place in, and they'd have to change that.
5 food.
I don't know if I agree with
Oh,
that.
Resident
or
Evil,
not.
you talking about?
Yeah,
He's about Resident. Resident Evil. What do you mean? Why wouldn't they be able to do 5?
There's too many black
Take
people.
place
That's what
in
it's
Africa.
trying to
Because they say you can't have a white character
Yeah, all these
shooting
black-
black
all these black
zombies.
villains.
Okay. all these slavery stories have been getting.
That was
and I
IGN.
think-
They had a whole. They made a whole article.
Oh, that's right. They did say that. They did say that was an
crazy
IGN
when
article.
Spidey
Even though
came
there's
out.
zombies and they're in Africa. Did you want white zombies in Africa? Is that what you wanted?
Maybe they're in.
I don't
South
know,
Africa.
just based on the reception, if they feel
You
that.
gotta blame-
South
you
Africa.
gotta blame,
you're a
You gotta
villain
blame
on
white
that one.
liberals for that. You gotta blame white liberals for that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care.
If black people can be whatever they want in media, I want them to be zombies.
I think they'd have to if they try.
shoot some
if
black
they,
zombies. Let's get it.
if they do 5,
Just I'm okay with you shooting black zombies. Just like
do you
I did
think?
feel a certain way about in Grand Theft Auto.
which
was
one?
it? Grand Theft Auto. It had to be. Was it Vice? No, it could have been Vice City. I just remember a mission where you had to kill the Haitians. I was like, oh, whoa.
Isn't there Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
3?
Was it 3? I
Not
think it
that
was
I
3.
remember.
I thought it was Vice
not
City.
that
I
remember,
thought-
but,
Was
They
it- I thought
re-released
it
the
was-
game and they got rid of that specific.
It was
thing.
insensitive, even though murder and stuff and hookers.
You could have said like kill whatever the game
Objective-
was. You had to say
Mhm.
kill the Haitians.
the Haitians.
Yeah, you
That-
could
yeah,
just
that's
change
much.
the text if you really care that much. I would just change the text.
I
A little
just
much.
if they do 5, I hope they make more alteration. I don't really want it to be a co-op game, but I don't know. Maybe they could find a way to like having an AI companion. I don't mind the co-op part, but the AI companion stuff, unless they could make it work really good, can be frustrating in some of those.
It'll be remade eventually. I mean,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like it's more modern-esque than like the
Yeah,
previous ones.
they could
so
do
that's why
Code
they haven't done
Veronica
it.
probably first,
Yeah, I think they will. I think they're gonna do the original Resident Evil game,
and they could
They're
do
gonna make
Resident
that,
Evil
like,
1.
They still got a couple that they could do before they have to forcibly make new stuff.
Well, they're
they
still
make
making
new
new
stuff.
games, but
They still make new stuff too. Good. But
that's why it's okay.
yeah, that's why it's fine.
I'd love them to go back to third person, exclusive for the next one, but or not for a third person.
Which I mean, that's actually Resident Evil 9. That's probably gonna be
Village.
coming to
They added
Switch
the
2.
third person mode. I don't know if it was locked behind the DLC or if it was a free update. I haven't even tried. I didn't go back to try it, but I want Nintendo to like they did with From Software, have a company, whether it's a Resident Evil game or a Monster Hunter game, have somebody build a game from the ground up, exclusive to Switch, and more so than maybe some of these other games that they're gonna have to try to port that are made exclusive for 9th generation. I think you would get a better result just making the game from the ground up for the Switch 2 versus porting like Monster Hunter Wilds. I'd be curious because that doesn't have the greatest performance on PS5 and Series X. It's not terrible, but I mean it's not super consistent. So, but other than that,
Well, I would agree though with the Terrell said earlier, Ace Attorney. Absolutely, that I'd like to see more of, like a new one.
I'm just glad we're getting a new Layton already.
Yeah, new Layton.
What
I mean, if
a
they
beautiful
continue
series. What a beautiful
new
series.
Yakuza games, if they want to, or Like a Dragon, continue Like a Dragon. I'm sure they're gonna bring those to
we'll see how
the
they'll
Switch
probably
2,
see how the Zero sells.
which I'm sure is so decent. I don't know if it's so great, but I'm sure it's so decent. Only so many times I feel like you could re-release a game.
I don't know, man. Some companies are getting pretty good at it.
Which actually, we didn't even talk about. Well, I guess talk about re-release the Gears on
Gears
PlayStation.
is getting another remake, but I don't know. The first one was one of
I
those.
saw that. I was like, they already remake that game. Like,
They
I'm
did
confused.
last gen.
Yeah,
They
like,
remade it last
But-
gen.
Did it say it's gonna? Because that one was the original game, and you could swap back and forth on the fly. Are they just starting fresh? Is this
I
gonna
don't
be
think you
like
could swap. I don't think you could swap. You're thinking the Halo one, Halo the original.
Gears? You couldn't.
I don't remember you'd be.
I
able
thought
to
that
do
was the first one that you could.
No,
I thought-
Halo was the one where you remember Halo.
I know,
Master
but I
Chief,
thought Gears.
the-
I thought they did Gears first. It was on Xbox
well-
One. I swear, I could be wrong, but my memory's telling me Gears you could switch back for. If I'm wrong, then obviously
I mean,
I'm
I'll have to
wrong.
look
You
it
do
up, but
what?
that sounds.
could
Those-
you switch
those are
back
pretty
and
cool
forth
that you
with
could do that.
the new visuals and the old visuals with the Gears remaster, remake, whatever it was?
I don't think they'd want.
I don't think you
to
could do that with the remake.
No, was
I
it?
don't think they.
First of all, why?
Yeah,
It makes sense on like when you did it, when they did it for Halo.
But the
That
point
makes
is,
sense.
if they do that, that means they're just putting better visuals on top of the original game. They're not starting from scratch.
Oh
Like
yeah.
like RE2.
No, they said it's a remaster.
It's a
So that's why I'm
remaster.
confused.
It said built from the ground up visuals,
Yeah, but built for.
but
they
it's
said
still the
remaster
core
built from
game.
ground
So
up.
all
Using
the
the same
mechanics,
code,
everything's going to be
the
the
old code.
same. They're probably not going to alter too much from Robert's favorite boss fight at the end.
This man said blinks. Shout out to Wiser.
What about
That's a deep cut. Deep cut.
What about
Blinks.
ukulele? Like a new 3D ukulele on Switch 2.
I mean, I'm surprised they
You
haven't.
could replay lately.
I hated all
Make a
that.
new goddamn
How
game. How about that?
You had a stutter when like the Down syndrome kicked in.
Did that ever?
Make a
Is
new
that out
damn
now?
game.
That remastered ukulele out?
I don't even know.
Is it a free upgrade or you have to buy it?
No, it's a new game. You have to buy a whole new game.
Oh.
Yeah, because they dug into it.
Yeah, they completely from the ground up.
Yeah, for some reason I don't get that.
I get it.
You get it?
I wish it would have been a few years ago though. Like, why are you doing that now instead of doing because they did kind of a remaster before or something, and so like, well, why not just do that back then?
Where's Muhammad talking about $80 games?
Oh yeah,
I didn't see Muhammad bringing up $80 games since he's been in the chat.
He's talking trash about that he wants a better 3D dog.
Yeah.
Seriously?
But where's
that what you talking about today?
Where's the $80 games?
Come on,
He's last couple weeks always been talking about $80 games. I didn't see anything.
Damn.
Yeah, what happened? What happened, bro?
I knew it was gonna happen, bro.
What happened? You dare show your face in here?
Well, yeah, because we talked about $80 game, but we didn't talk about that the prices of the Xboxes are going up by $100.
Yeah, I don't blame Microsoft for that.
I don't blame them for that. I don't understand the games. I don't understand that shit at all.
It's still crazy. Like they weren't selling at the price they were. It's gonna definitely hurt them.
What generation has the price gone up after 5 years? That's that's insane.
Yeah.
Is it that bad? If it's that bad, we need a whole new revamping of the industry. If it's that bad. Goodness gracious.
And it's not like they all of a sudden announced a slew of games coming out worthy of that $100 increase.
My question is, does that mean I can now sell my?
You can't say Microsoft ain't got games. They got games, but they don't mean you raise the fucking price of the console that ain't selling. That shit ain't selling.
Does that mean my console's now worth more than it was before?
I should have hung on to that $350 one I bought. God damn it.
Nah.
Yeah.
That means I can sell it. That means I can sell it for $500, and that's considered a deal now.
It's a deal. That's a deal. Right?
But what?
Yeah.
They can't sell it for $500. How you gonna sell that, Bill?
The crazy thing, that's what I was gonna say about Nintendo though. Like, if you like, what do you think you could sell Breath of the Wild, even if you just bought it and kept it in the plastic and you didn't return it? Do you think you
60?
could get $760 for it?
Yeah, I get 60.
No.
Yeah.
No. What?
Yeah.
And it's just
someone. I mean, if you walk around the street and say, "I'll give you 60," someone's gonna pick it up.
maybe save you on tax if you got a high tax income tax or state tax where you live. But
I'll get it.
it's just like
Sell it on eBay.
I'll
And
get that
you
60, man.
You sell it on eBay, and before the person you sold it to figure out they got duped, you just close your account.
Yeah, it is crazy that the 2 terabyte Xbox is more than the PS5 Pro by $30. Well, it has a disc drive, so it's technically
For now.
Yeah, Sony's apparently been stockpiling for months.
Yeah.
Systems, so we'll see.
So when that stockpile ends and the tariffs. All right, we're back. It's all right. Oh shit!
That tariff situation changes every night with a tweet. So who knows?
Well, what would happen? Let's hypothetically.
We have foreign policy by tweet now. That's
what happened? Let's say China and the U.S. made a deal and things went down. Do you think Microsoft would go back down in price?
The U.S. might make a deal with China. China is not moving. They're not moving.
I'm saying, let's say the tariffs go down. A hypothetical scenario. does Microsoft say, all right, well now we're back down $100 or not?
Well, they better because they weren't selling when it was $100 cheaper. So I don't know what
unless you really think. I mean, there's a potential chance that this is the way it's just going to be for years to come. But at the same time, like, who would buy one right now with if there's any question that it could change? That's
I don't know.
just crazy.
You'd have to literally, the Xbox is genuinely like, hey, this is a Game Pass machine, and if you truly want to get Game Pass, this is what you do. And it's just, but that's such a tough sell at a higher price now. Also, it's like, damn.
Especially when there's eBay. You go get a fucking, you go buy one over there use one and call it a day.
Something we can talk about that I think's kind of interesting is Nintendo has this cloud-based system transfer system, system in place now where you can transfer your console right now, put it in the cloud for up to a year, and sell your Switch so that you can pre-order or buy the Switch 2, and then when you get your Switch 2, you can get it off the cloud. I mean, that's a cool thing if there's no technical issues. I'm like, I don't know if I'd risk it. If I needed to, I'd probably do it. But that's kind of a unique situation where you could get rid of your Switch now, put it up in the cloud, and have all your stuff there when you get your Switch 2. So I don't know if you guys saw that, but I thought I wouldn't risk it personally. But I don't think any of us are planning on using that feature. But it's kind of crazy. Nintendo's the only one I know of that's ever done anything like that. But Microsoft might have back up for you. But they had a big update. I haven't even checked my Switch. Now it shows
I checked my Switch.
Virtual game cards. It has the game share feature, like icons. The eShop changed color scheme, I guess.
To red.
For Nintendo,
I don't like this. I'm gonna say I don't like the Switch 2 boxes with the box art of the games I've seen. That red just looks odd.
I actually like.
I don't like it either.
It should be. I think it should be a thin. I think it should be a thinner. I think the red should be a thinner banner.
If they were gonna change it, then maybe make it a little thinner. But I like. Supposedly, depends on what we're looking at. The spine is like out of like a PlayStation S.
Is it gonna be white?
Where it's like Switch, and then it's gonna have like as if it's this game, like a whole sleeve of that. But that I like that. But then there's also another one for Europe where they showed Split Fiction and it's like white. So it's like the Japanese looks really cool where it's like, Mario Kart and it's like the actual, it continues to the side. I love
think it's
that.
the same for like the GameCube. I think our GameCube
has like games. The GameCube. Yep. Just like the GameCube.
I think reverse of that, don't you guys have it for the Wii or Wii U and we don't? Something like that? The Wii and Wii U for the past ones have always just been like a continuation of whatever this is, like red or like Wii U was white. That's what it was, and ours
was white and the blue, but it was never like the GameCube one. It's like the GameCube one,
had that,
which I love that. I think that would be great.
Me too.
I think that'd be great if they do like.
See, it looks all right for Donkey Kong, the red, because they have red in the.
Goddamn.
But like with the Metroid Prime, you got the purples and the blues and the golds. The red looks off. I mean, I might just buy the Switch 1 version of Prime 4 and do the $10 upgrade. You don't have the disclaimer, and I just think the box art looks.
Oh, the box art.
Yeah, I could understand that.
I'll get some custom.
I like it's like that where it's like goes to the side. You gotta look cool.
I think the red's part of the plastic. I think the box art, the art itself is just kind of small on that box, in my opinion. Let me look at this.
Well, it's essentially where that Switch logo is. It's just the whole red bar. And yeah, I mean, I think maybe they could have slimmed it down a bit, but I like the size.
See, I think the box.
That's your out, Muhammad. Nintendo did this price increase, so it's their fault. That's out.
Oops. But yeah, like.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the spine.
Yeah, I don't like that. That looks like it's part of the actual box with the box art being. You think that the red and the 2 logo is part of the actual paper box art?
I think
so. Like it's on the paper.
It's just the paper. I don't see the issue.
That looks like
You
the
think it's somehow a part of the outside, like the outside? There's no way.
Either way, I don't like. It's just too thick,
I
and the
wish it
red
curved.
doesn't
It's
look good with
it's
any of
super
the
thick.
colors.
Like a curve or something. Yeah, I can understand that. It
Yeah,
being a curve or something.
some little pizzazz. Are we gonna care at the end of the day?
No.
Not really.
But
it
definitely,
it's something to talk about.
But I do like the spine, man. We see the spine more often than the front, so I do like the spine.
Yeah, that's what matters most because that's what you're gonna see.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the spine mostly. Like Robert in this background there, all those spines.
All the spines, you know.
You're spineless.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
why
What am I saying? I got spines in my background too.
exactly. Look at all those spines. Even Retro on the back, he's got
See that yellow in there and shit.
head.
The fucking
Of a head.
player's choice messing up my. Look at that shit. Messing up the
spine.
whole layout. Ugly yellow
Yeah.
player's choiceness. I think Xbox had it the worst. It was like a silver. What the fuck is that? That shit's-
yeah, I have a
Yeah,
couple
this-
of those.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, what drives you crazy about Xbox with the Series X is they never changed it from the Xbox One. They just continued it. They removed the one
lazy ass shit.
Xbox. And I'm like, man,
It's like we
And
barely
then-
gonna have physical copies anyways, so I changed it.
I do like the front. The front they changed a little bit, but it's like, but
Yeah.
I'm like, the spine is the same thing. It looks exactly the same. It drives me crazy because
These
now
fucking
you
cases
can't.
are getting super thin and flimsy. Like whatever the plastic material they're using, they feel like when you bought like you guys don't know this, but if you buy like generic bulk cases, it has that kind of material on the Nintendo and the Xbox and I don't know about Sony. I haven't seen PlayStation 5 ones yet, but PlayStation 4, the cases start to seem a little thin, a little flimsier than before. They already took the goddamn
Blu-rays are the
manual
same
out
way.
of it. Is it the same with Blu-rays too?
Yeah, there's some. If I like look at some of my old Blu-rays, they're definitely heavier duty, which I think it's more for potential recycling or biodegradable. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like they make the plastic thinner.
I guess I
But
can live with that if it's for the environment. So ain't too much.
one thing I kind of brought up was some of the unknown questions still. I think might have been GVG did something similar, but I got the Switch 2 Pro controller pre-ordered. Is that going to work with Switch 1, you think?
Really?
Yeah. Because if I don't get my
It'll
Switch
work
2
with
right
the
away,
Switch
I still want to. If I can use the controller on Switch 1, that would be
$100,
cool.
right?
But this, we don't know. Obviously, it's not a huge.
There's no
I-
confirmation on whether.
I feel like it will.
No,
I'm
it
guessing it will because it's like Bluetooth.
seems like it will.
that's
It
all.
could maybe
You
it'll
can use
recognize
any
it.
controller in the
At
Switch.
the
You
very
can use
least,
all
it should
kinds
be a
of controllers.
generic control. It should work as like a generic third-party controller. But I just, from what I heard of the how smooth the sticks are and having a new controller, even if I'm still playing Xenoblade
Smooth
Chronicles
sticks,
X,
huh?
yeah,
Like
on
smooth stick.
on Switch 1 until I get a Switch 2, I want to use that controller. So I didn't cancel my pre-order, even though I didn't get the Switch 2 yet. And
I have a generic, and I didn't realize until recently. I have a generic Pro controller for Switch 1, and I thought it was fine, but my son waxed me in fucking Mario Kart, and I'm like, oh, this controller is not that good. It's actually not good. And I was like, maybe it's good for just like, not high intense games, but it sucks for those too. And I just realized it.
what is the issue with
What?
with
The
the button?
Pro
Or...
It's just it doesn't feel
Oh,
like
the
it.
one that you have.
Yeah, one that I have. Can I reach it from here?
I'm
Let's see
definitely,
it, actually.
even on the Switch 2, gonna keep using my Switch 1 Pro controller, man. It's the most
Yeah,
perfect
so
controller
that's
ever,
what I'm
man.
gonna do. I'm gonna buy a couple of Switch
Mine's
One.
so-
Don't you want to at least feel
Pro
the second
controllers.
one? Like at a store?
I don't really. If I'm in the store, then yeah, I would grab it.
And
to
what if
see,
you
but-
feel it? If you feel it
Right.
and you like, oh,
Feel the magic.
it's so
Yeah, well,
big.
if that's how it is, of course I would pick it up. But I see it's hard. I feel for them to improve on the Switch 1 Pro controller. It's just perfect. Me the button size and shit, the way the sticks work and everything. Like I ain't picking up a new controller just for that C button. Like I don't care.
And you can
Well,
always
it's
use
not
your
really-
Joy-Con.
You could also do the back, but yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
also
you-
got the back buttons, man. You got
Yeah,
some-
how many games
like
are
it.
going to be
For Breath of the
using
Wild,
that?
and Tears of the Kingdom, that'd be huge.
You can customize it. Yeah,
Imagine
you
being able
can
to run
customize
and
it.
jump with the back button instead of having to do the X and
That's the worst,
A.
man. You're like,
Here's my third-party
Yeah.
Switch controller. I'm kidding.
Oh, put that down. Put it down. Who bought that? You didn't pay
What
for that.
is it?
Somebody gave it to you for free. I know what happened.
Is it for
This is
phones?
for a tablet. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Is that the backbone one?
They had that
Oh,
Razer
no.
one for 100 that looked pretty good, but
I know the backbone one has been real popular lately. That's why I asked.
This is the iPega. What? What you call me?
You peg who?
whose
pegging.
birthday is it? Oh, flip the score. Happy birthday. How old are you? You been
Mind your fucking business, hell, boy.
how long you been a Nintendo fan?
Since my
You might
mama
not
had
be
me.
Yeah, you might.
My mama and me.
But when are we getting Gears confirmed for Switch 2, man? I feel like
think-
it has to be.
They haven't
Think
confirmed
Nintendo
any
wants to
games.
announce-
Listen, Juice has to confirm a pre-order before we confirm anything.
Or
Okay?
maybe at
That's-
Microsoft's presentation.
I think Microsoft wants to
Summer
announce it.
thing.
Welcome, guys.
I
Here's
feel
our
like it's
Switch
not-
2
I think
lineup, huh?
Nintendo-
No,
You don't think Nintendo
no.
wants to
I
play
think
in a
Phil
direct?
Spencer, Microsoft, they want to be able to have that Switch 2 logo at the bottom of their.
I want
like-
Phil Spencer in a Nintendo Direct.
No, because Phil Spencer, I don't think he know how to behave himself. I don't know if I want him. That's my song. That's my song on
They don't
camera.
even
He was
put Doug
depressed.
Bowser in their damn Nintendo Directs. They're not put.
I know.
They don't put.
That's because
anybody anymore.
Douglas
Oh, yeah.
has things to do.
Oh yeah, Doug
Cory's-
Bowser. Remember him?
Koizumi, he must be too hard at work at Donkey Kong Bonanza. He hasn't been able to get
Let
away.
that man do his job. Every so the game is good. Oh, it's because you wanted
Here's
him in
the
the
ba-
direct.
like,
That's
he-
why.
He ain't got much time left there. Hurry up and finish.
You got 2
Where-
months. The
where
fuck?
was it then when the three did get on? Who was it that got on stage together? Weren't there 3 from each of the companies?
There's
that got
3
on
of them that
stage?
worked on the hardware.
No,
I don't
I
know
mean
who they-
like somebody from Nintendo, somebody from Xbox, somebody from Sony. Didn't that happen?
That was
I thought
Reggie.
it happened.
Yeah, Reggie.
That's
It was
That's what I
Reggie.
thought.
It was Reggie.
Was that with Phil Spencer?
Yeah.
That was with Phil Spencer.
Okay, that's what I thought. that
And
happened. Where was
whoever the
that?
Sony guy was in that for those
It
5
was,
seconds.
Sean
Game
Layden.
Awards?
Lady.
Sean Layden.
Sean who?
Yeah,
Sean Layden.
He got fired, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
didn't he?
No,
just leave?
he left.
retired.
Okay. So he was respectfully
He got his
pushed
ass pushed out of
out
there. That's
the
what
door.
happened.
respectfully. He said, I'm going. You ain't gonna push
All
me.
right, so
Don't push me, man.
what?
Like,
what?
Yo,
Ga-
Mohammed
He
said
did. He got respectfully pushed out of there.
Respectfully.
God damn.
so what?
Respectfully.
So what
Kick
game
your
are
ass
you
out.
double dipping for on Switch 2, or you would double dip for on Switch 2?
Maybe Cyberpunk. I ain't gonna lie, maybe Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely double dipping for
That's
something.
I only
like
paid-
That's like the one.
I only paid $5 or $10 for it originally, so I'm not. It's not too much for me to double dip.
Yeah.
It's like
Um,
buying it just new.
I
Double
honestly,
dip.
That's it. I ain't buying shit else.
Street Fighter
Only
6, if it
double-
was on all in the cart, I'd definitely buy that for $70 on the cart.
Bravely Default I might get digitally.
I'll get Minecraft physically when they release that. That'd be like
No.
that'll be like my 8th Minecraft. I have to get it for every console they release.
You don't have to do anything.
I don't see Retro Death playing mine. He's still. I haven't seen you. Isn't that a digital game?
He's enjoying his life, right? Let that
Yeah,
man alone.
no, I haven't
What-
played Minecraft in a while because Robert was gracious enough to give it to me physically, and I didn't have my shit here.
Yeah, I figured you had that
I
digitally.
feel like you did
but,
that.
yeah.
I feel like you did that to awaken his trauma. I feel like you did that. I feel
Is that
like
what it
you-
was?
I was legit enjoying Minecraft.
Did you forget how
with all my
serious you
time,
were,
like-
Robert? What the fuck?
No, I remember. I thought I got it. Like was gonna give you it digitally, then you used it for something else, some other.
No,
way,
you
'cause
gave it to me physically.
Mm.
Oh, did
That's
he?
crazy.
He gave it to you physically, huh? This whole podcast. is
Were you
sensitive.
behind him? Were you one of the guys behind him at the pre-order?
What's that clapping
One
sound?
of the 100 guys.
What's that
What is that
clapping
behind
sound, man? What's that clapping sound going on? Damn, someone's hitting the cheeks real hard.
Nia, is Nia still listening?
No, she's
Oh,
not.
that guy, I think they ran her off.
Robert's been clapping cheeks tonight. I'm crazy, bro. You got it. You got it in Japan. You got to come back and get in the States. It's crazy. He just clapping cheeks all over the world. It's
No,
wild.
she's still here.
Did Retro, I see you've been playing some Overwatch. Did you ever go anywhere with Astro Playroom or Ratchet and Clank?
I'm so like a
It said
few.
Donkey Kong Bonanza needs Diddy. I didn't see the call.
Damn.
No Diddy.
I'm like, wait, what?
Oh my god. What do you mean?
All I
That's
saw was
cool.
Diddy. I didn't see Kong. What?
Needs Diddy
No
too, right?
Diddy. We don't need any.
Really?
No Diddy.
Sorry. Anyway,
No
Retro.
Diddy. Sorry,
No,
Retro. Sorry, I just saw that. It messed me up.
No, I haven't played Astro in a while, but I have played Ratchet. I wanted to focus more on like, like I finished Astro. I still want to
Yeah, you
100%
finished it, right?
it, but I finished it, so I just wanted to focus more on like Ratchet and Clank.
Did you get
now?
what's her name? What's the female version of Ratchet?
Rivet?
Rivet.
Oh yeah, I'm at the. I don't know who played the game. I'm at the part where you can kind of choose between her and Ratchet which missions you want to do. And I've done like one of Ratchet and like 3 of Rivet, I think. I selected based on what planet you're on because that seems more interesting to me. So I've been doing mostly her stuff.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have that many other options at the time, at the moment.
I love that game. I don't care. I fucking love
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank.
It's a great
I'm just
game.
saying,
and,
like-
and I mean, and you love Overwatch. You literally, it literally is everything. Every time I turn it on, I see Retro Dead.
Still the PS4
Overwatch too.
version.
It's because I can we're
No,
not
no, I
literally
thought it was
co-oping
PS4
it at the same time also. So I left it on the PS4 version because I can't upgrade
Oh.
it to the PS5 version. But then the PS4 controller doesn't work, and she doesn't like the PS5 controller. It like hurts her hand because of the shape it has and stuff. So I
Are you
don't
playing
care.
on the
Yeah,
same
the
system, or are
DualSense
you
is great.
playing?
No, so we have her PS4 here, and then
Mhm.
the PS5 is over there, and then we play together.
And she plays the PS5.
It depends on who is where. It doesn't really matter.
Oh.
Sometimes I'm over there, sometimes she's over here. It doesn't really change.
So
But no,
when you're
she
on the
plays-
PS5, you don't play the DualSense.
No, because
well,
we kept the
this-
PS4 controller.
You can still
in the
use it
PS4
even on the
version on there.
PS4 version. You can still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Um,
duh. Yeah, Forgot.
Yeah, I hadn't touched hardly anything since I was playing Super Nintendo, and once I got beat Link to the Past, I've been kind of, thanks to Returnal, I've been back. Haven't played the Super Nintendo as much, so I'm starting to slow down, guys.
I mean, it's only been-
realistically,
it's only been like a week, right?
realistically, because like you say, you've been playing other games. When I'm not playing Overwatch, I'm playing either Hyrule Warriors or Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Those are the games I'm kind of focusing on right now.
Oh yeah, because you got your Switch with you, right?
Well, just the Switch in the carrying case with
the
the
games.
15 or 20 games
Yeah.
that I could put in there.
Oh, okay. So you got. I'm curious what games you got on there, but
I mean, the 4 different Zelda games, I think.
the most
Axis of
important
Wisdom,
ones, I
Link's
guess.
Awakening, Tears of the Kingdom.
Fate and
I have fucking
Kaitos.
titles in there. Of course, yeah. I have that one in there. I have like Mario Wonder in there.
Mario Kart.
No, not Mario Kart, I think.
Oh my God! Really?
No, yeah, because I can play it here right now anyway. Like
Oh,
she has it
alright,
as
well,
well,
that's-
so it doesn't
well,
really
we gotta save it
matter.
for a
You can
bit.
play split screen though. So yeah.
Exactly. I thought
Yeah,
you
we
just
can,
didn't
yeah,
have
yeah.
Mario Kart with you.
What else was I gonna say?
I think you guys are still not surprised that the gears coming to PlayStation. No, is that shit crazy? That shit crazy. I
Yeah,
don't know how it
that's-
feels.
And it's what, $40?
I don't know how much it is.
I think it's
but
40 or 50.
I think that shit crazy, man.
And it's just that one, right? They didn't
saw a little
confirm any of the
later,
others.
PlayStation say, whatever Gears of
Yeah,
War.
they
coming, I was
announced
like,
it.
Oh,
That's where I
God.
saw
I
it.
was like, hey, yo.
That's why
That's
Mohammed is
crazy.
hating on Donkey Kong. He's like deflecting, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's throwing stuff back
I don't-
like Donkey Kong.
I know
and
he-
Donkey Kong Banana.
try not to reply to dumb comments. It's
I gotta
even
give
though-
Mohammed credit. He's good at just trolling, man.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He's been
at this.
doing dumb comments for
Even
a
though
long time now.
I'm not like super
Amazing.
excited for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like some low budget like half-ass game. Like it looks like like Nintendo gave it put their A team on it. It doesn't look like some C team thing. like maybe he's
Exactly.
suggesting.
Dude, Donkey Kong's face is borderline full
Just-
on motion
yeah.
kept by a guy, man. Like
It's
all
like-
the expressions he has.
I love it. I don't know if you guys been using the Nintendo Today app. I use it every
I
day.
downloaded it, but I don't
do.
even look at it.
I open it every day to.
Well,
actually
they're
look
I
at-
guess they're updating the actual Switch app, so your screenshots will
Yeah.
go there. So
Yeah, they
When
are.
did they? Actually, that's when I don't know if they're supporting for Switch One.
yeah, I don't
I'm
know if it's
assuming they're
Switch
not.
One or not. That's I mean
I'm
it's a
assuming
cool
not.
feature.
Oh, it's a great feature.
I like
It's
I have a bunch of
years
under
years
my
ago.
I have a bunch of I have like PlayStation photos on my phone of Spider-Man, my first time playing Spider-Man 4 on the PS4 Pro. Like that's like the first photo I took. That I grabbed from the app and then put it on my saved it to my phone. I have like hundreds of game photos, game screenshots on my phone. And you know, you know, you do the Nintendo, you do the download process, and I mean it's high quality actually. They look way better than when you did it to Twitter and save it off of Twitter. It used to downgrade,
Yeah.
but the actual direct looks way better than it does like on the Switch, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot. Yeah, I mean
Could be the smaller screen, but she was talking about Muhammad. Respect for the commitment. I mean,
That's what I was wondering what you're talking about.
sometimes we just have to ignore. Other times we engage.
It's fun. I had a good time.
I think
You
it's
did,
hilarious.
yeah.
Like,
His
funny to read.
ideas that you went through, like game titles before the direct.
Yeah,
Where
that's
he,
insane.
I think he did that shit, man. He played it with so many. He had to.
I had to do it. It was some crazy stuff in there.
This is hilarious.
That took some
But hey,
work. It took some thinking to come up with some of that shit.
I just realized it's literally 1 month away. Literally,
Yeah,
May,
to the
it's
day.
May 5th. 1 exact month until this.
Oh, is that
We
true?
will. Well, I guess 3 of us will for sure be playing. So we
Cinco de
can
Mayo,
show it.
man.
Oh my God, we're playing. What? Oh, that's a Thursday, right?
Oh, where's my phone?
And then you know.
Is that true, Eris? Oh, you're saying you're convinced? You're convinced it's made by the Bowser Fury team? Oh, I thought I saw the word.
He's the guy that claimed that 3D
confirmed.
World was made by a different team. That there's not the main Mario team didn't make 3D World. So I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't
they
take
confirm
any.
that?
I
No.
wouldn't take his word as gospel on that.
Well, he's saying he's convinced. He's not saying it was confirmed.
I don't
not
even think
convinced.
there
I
is
think
a
I thought.
separate. I don't even believe there is a
Yeah, I don't
separate
think there's a
team.
separate team.
I
I don't think there's a separate.
Yeah,
Maybe he didn't-
I'm not convinced.
Maybe
of
it wasn't 100% of everybody's attention made Bowser's Fury. Maybe it was. Maybe they let a smaller team branch off and do that while they're working on Odyssey. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or Odyssey was out, right? So after Odyssey, before they're trying to decide. But at the same time, they could have got it out quicker. Just everybody works on it, and this is what we got. Or it was something they had planned and for DLC, and I just don't believe there's like some secondary 3D Mario team. I just don't believe it.
You with the comeback, yo. Xbox is barely.
Can't
like
play
even the guy who came up with that don't even say that shit no more. He's weird. So I don't know if I would use that. I don't know if I could use that, bro.
if the
saying.
Switch 2 gets like most of the games that are coming to PS5 and stuff, then it's hard to argue that, you know, the Switch 2 isn't the best box, even if you're an Xbox fan. I don't know though. They might not. I don't think they put Game Pass on Switch 2 or another system, because then like third-party games would have
They ain't
to.
allowing that shit.
No, it wouldn't work. They could do
Well,
a.
you could put Game Pass on there and it'd just be like, you know, a lesser version with just like Microsoft Studio.
Yeah, they
games.
could just do what it was, like 100 games, all Microsoft stuff, the rare replays and your Halos and stuff.
I'm pretty sure they.
But that's gonna take away from Nintendo what they want to do with your money. So I don't know if they, I don't know if they will allow that.
I mean, if they find the, you know, some sort of like, hey, split the price for this, because they have to, you know, they're literally putting essentially their ecosystem onto a Nintendo console at that point. They gotta at least have some money into Nintendo for a monthly. I don't know how they would do that.
I mean, they
Because I
already
don't
started
actually
out.
is Ubisoft Plus on? I don't think that's on Switch. Or I guess I don't know how that works, but you know how they have that and
Yeah,
EA has both?
that's not on Switch.
I don't think so. But it's a
I mean,
part of
It's barely on PC.
at this point, Xbox is a dead box. Come on, because we were already talking like, oh, Nintendo was getting all the Xbox games. We were like, oh, but not the Halo and Gears and stuff. But
Damn, I just
fuck, even
realized.
that's going
Felt barely
now.
wrong.
Like
years.
we got
It's
like
barley
Gears out
box.
now.
That shit is
Yeah,
crazy.
I spelled that shit so wrong. Barley box.
Oh, yeah,
You know
Barley.
what I mean? You know what I mean?
I didn't
You know
even
what I'm
see
trying
it.
to say.
Yeah, I didn't
I
even see
just realized it.
it. Barley a box.
It's barley a box. That's how my
That's
dad would say.
hilarious.
That's barley a box. That's a barley a box. It's a barley box.
It does. It's like an accent or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I just don't see Nintendo because that's potential. Like somebody could buy the Switch too and just Game Pass and that'd be a little Game Pass system on the go. Like you don't want to give people you know that you know that incentive. I think if you're a Nintendo company, you don't want to do that. Uh, they
What you
want
about
your money,
Nintendo games, man? Obviously,
right? They want you to buy Nintendo game. They don't want you to buy
Yeah,
please.
Game Pass
that's why
because
it's like
all the other portable Game Pass boxes aren't that. They don't sell that. They haven't sold that great. They sell okay. I'm
and
talking about the
as someone
portable
does
PCs.
who is like curious about like sales figures and stuff, it drives you crazy that every Microsoft title they always say we crossed 1 million players. No shit, you did. But of course you did. You're a Microsoft studio and a
How
bunch
many
of
copies did you sell?
Yeah, what was your
You got
Hey,
you
we
got
have 1 million players on the page. We obviously sold 1 million copies. No, you didn't.
you have to understand. No. That's not how it works. You got to understand what that means. That means it's not just they tout players because that's eyeballs on shit that you could potentially buy, and it's like a commercial, right? Not everybody who
Yeah.
watches your commercial is gonna buy fucking McDonald's, but your setup, your incentive structure is this percentage of people more will have eyes on will maybe buy this DLC and maybe that might
Yeah.
lead to that's how they look at it. So I get the the appeal of trying to like you guys yeah of
Remember,
course because
Xbox used to say
everybody's
like
on there.
Xbox used to say like 1 million games shipped and stuff. They wouldn't even say how much they sold.
They don't
Just
say
'cause,
that. I think they
someone
have
who-
good numbers. I don't know why they don't share them. I don't anymore.
Because it makes it sound like they don't have good numbers when they don't share them.
That's the
I just
that's
don't
not,
get it.
You can't share the eyeballs and then not share the soul, because then it just seems like, well, if you got all these eyeballs, that means obviously it would translate to sales, and if it actually translates to sales, then tout the sales, because that to me that's a bigger deal. That means people thought your product was good enough to put down $60 or $70 or now
Or
80.
80.
Yeah, I knew you were
They
gonna
put
fucking
out
do
like
it.
Game
To
Pass
buy it.
financials and shit like that. They making good money. They making a lot of good money on Game Pass. I don't know why they don't tout it more.
Yeah.
It's a
Xbox
flex.
Xbox low key feels like a third party system that just happens to have a console.
Well, I mean,
That's what it feels like.
at this point, it actually is. I mean, if you're on everything, you're technically you have
party,
your
No,
own
the
man.
games.
math is
First
definitely
of all.
mathing with Game Pass, my friend Ayers. I mean, it's definitely mathing. They're making a lot of money on Game Pass, but I don't understand why they don't tout it more.
Yeah.
That's what I don't. Why are they hiding, their sales numbers? They clearly are making money if you look at their financials. So I don't get it.
Well, they said, yeah. I mean, apparently the games wise, like their revenue was up, and I mean, a lot of that's probably also due to the fact that they got Activision now. They get Call of Duty stuff
Yeah.
income.
But that's still their money. People are like,
Well,
oh,
of
that's
course.
active. No, that's their money
like,
now.
of course, that was gonna get a boost at least now.
Yeah.
But I think it was like hardware revenue went down, and I'm like, that's not surprising either. I guess to be
That's
fair,
not surprised at all. Yeah, they're not.
They don't put.
They don't
They don't push their hardware.
They don't
at all.
advertise it and they don't push it at all. Like
Yeah.
That's probably
I don't get
That's
it.
why I'm like, what's the point of you having a console if you're not gonna push it?
But if they
Because
think about it,
them
they're
selling
You're
30 to
pushing
50
you're
million.
pushing you're pushing laptops and PCs and other products using Game Pass
This
more
is an
than
Xbox.
yeah, more than the Xbox you have. So what's the
But
point
also,
of
I
it?
mean,
They're pushing 30 to 50 million consoles, a generation. They seem to be okay with that. They seem to be good with that. I mean,
yeah.
Well, what's the point of having the box if you're not going to promote the box? That's what it
because
feels
it's
like.
30 to 50 million consoles. That's still a significant number. There's generations Nintendo would have been very happy to have 30 or 50 million consoles out there. So that's still a good number. It's not 100 million, but they don't need that 100 million because they put their games on everything. So that's another way they make more money than most guys do. I mean,
Or are they
Nintendo
using
makes
the
more
success?
profit
Are they?
at this
My
point.
question is then: are you using the success of Game Pass to offset the loss of money through console manufacturing?
Yeah, because they don't make money on consoles. Like that's also a thing. So they're not in a rush to promote consoles because they don't make any money on them.
Well, what I'm curious about how
Well, why
because their
wouldn't you
revenues
want
were
to?
down for consoles that when
Well, the
with these
margins are
tariffs.
so terrible.
No, I was saying with their tariffs and stuff that since they put the price higher for consoles, they might have also added an extra little cushion higher so they could
Yeah,
actually maybe make some more money on the console.
maybe now they're making a little extra change,
You know what
but
I'm
their
saying?
margins
Where
are
it's like,
pretty
all
thin.
right, well, we get, because of the tariffs, we're gonna need to push it up, but let's push it up just a little bit higher. We'll take the, whatever, and then we'll actually make some more money off the console
Yeah,
this time.
and this idea that they're, because I saw something with Ayers was like misleading, bro. Like Microsoft is a $3 trillion company. If something ain't mathing, they'll get rid of that shit. Like they're not gonna. What are they getting out of pretending they're making money as a game company? They'll get rid of that shit. Like they wouldn't spend fucking $80 billion to get Activision Blizzard if they weren't happy with what they're doing. You don't do that. You don't do that if you're not making some money. So the idea that they're not making money, trust me, they're making money. Would they like to make more? Of course they would. But they're making money on Game Pass.
I'm kind of thinking, like, the Xbox One generation was looking, at the time, we thought, oh, wow, this kind of stagnant, when it hit 40 and it kind of was slowed down. But at the same time, looking at it now, with the Series X and S are at like 26 or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they gave up on the Xbox One, maybe prematurely. I don't know, maybe it wasn't, maybe
No, they didn't.
maybe
The
they,
rest of
because
the games
it was
were ass.
2015. Was it 2015 when they announced Quantum Break was no longer exclusive, going to day and date on PC? It was either 2015
Yeah,
or
that
early
was 2015.
2016.
They changed in 2015, and I remember one specific Xbot that was really pissed off. He thought Phil Spencer betrayed him, and he got
Is that
checked
when-
on Twitter. I remember that.
Was that Crap Gamer or was that
Crap Gamer, yes. It's
Oh,
I
Crap
just
Gamer.
wonder though, like, if maybe the Xbox One generation was more not
It really hurt
salvageable.
them.
Maybe it wouldn't have got to 100, but I don't know. Maybe some different choices
All
and it
they
would have
had to
hit
do-
60, 70, 80 million.
The Xbox One generation was mainly hurt because they just didn't release good games for like a good
Well,
few
they,
years.
they didn't release good games because they started off so poorly with their, not just the marketing, but the
Kinect.
mind share of the Xbox was in the toilet after Don Matrix statements. Like it was just and the whole, they got cooked by PlayStation with that little, this is
My
how you
problem is
share
that
a
they had
game
better
thing.
game- they-
and the
nowhere.
and the price.
It was
Problem
nowhere
is,
then.
my problem is they had better games at the beginning of that generation than at the end of it.
They did, but they didn't want to invest in it. They just didn't invest in it after the initial launch of it.
What did they
Don
have in the
Matrix
beginning?
took off.
I'll put it this way: if you're comparing Rise Son of Rome to Crackdown 3 or State of Decay 2,
Yeah.
which were both fucking terrible titles in every sense of the
Yeah, their
word.
best games was in the beginning of that generation. for
First
sure.
couple years.
What was it, Record?
But also they got
Was
Cuphead,
earlier.
they got the Ori,
Yeah, they got
Forza
the
Horizon 4 in 2018. They had
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, so it's Overdrive.
Halo 5
And
was
you-
a bit of a letdown, I feel like. I just
Yeah, it
remember
was.
what people's reaction
Most
was.
people would agree with that. Most people would agree with that.
Oh yeah, Halo 5 was definitely let down. I I was
Just
pretty salty.
either they could have
about Halo 5.
either they could have just took the Connect out and charged, you know,
Well, no, I
$350,
thought
or they could have had
No,
a.
the Connect was integral to
I know.
the
I'm saying
experience.
just to revision, you know, try to fix if you could go back in time. Either just without the Connect, maybe also boost it up closer to PS4, so they were pretty much neck and neck. $400 at the time. The 360 was one of most people's main main gaming system.
I don't know.
I just
The
feel
console
like
was just bad. It was poorly designed.
like
it
let's say the
was-
Xbox One S was the launch Xbox for 350 or 400, with the goodwill, like everybody I knew that played Call of Duty played on Xbox. You know, dozens of.
So they would have pulled the
Yeah.
PS3 Slim.
So like if they just
Maybe.
had a good
Yeah.
system at launch with the same price or cheaper than PS5, I think that
Yeah.
they would have been fine that
Well,
generation.
here's the problem with that, because we're talking 2014-ish, right? 2015
Well,
maybe.
released in
At that point-
2013.
Well, I mean as far as fixing it.
Oh yeah, I
But
bet
you
you meant
couldn't-
go back and tell, hey, don't do this with the Kinect. Release
Well, yeah,
this
that would be great.
this in 2013. Have this One S be your system.
I mean, fixing it the way PlayStation did with PS3.
Yeah.
They flipped around. The time that they could have been doing that was the time they were about to sell this motherfucker to Amazon. They were getting ready to get rid of the gaming. So, you know, I still will credit Phil. I think Phil saved Xbox at that time, because I think he was the only one saying, no, we should continue to try to make this thing work. And because that's when the games got really like trickly, like not much coming out at all.
they were
That's when you
slow
got your
and they were
Crackdown.
bad. It was like the
Yeah, that's
worst
when you get your
combination.
Crackdown 3s and all that kind of shit. Was at the brink, the tipping point almost. I don't know how he convinced them to carry on and let's do this Game Pass thing and let's start putting games on PC. I think
It's
that
like
I think that putting games on PC is what saved them, is what I'm saying. You know, a lot of Xbots are upset about that, but I'm like, bitch, you wouldn't have a console right now, I don't think, if they didn't start putting their shit on PC.
Well, you're
So-
implying those people bought that console. They ain't buy that
Well,
console.
well, yeah, well,
Have some people.
I
Other
just-
people want to do some armchair analyst shit.
Yeah,
so you would
talk
have an
about.
Xbox if it wasn't for putting this stuff on PC.
To be fair,
So
I have my own reservations about that brand, but that's
it's just crazy
Neither
that they
here nor there.
went from. I mean, yeah, the PS3 had a nice
the 360.
had a big comeback, but it was everybody's primary console that I knew. I didn't.
Yeah.
360 was my
Well-
primary console. It wasn't the Wii.
the 360 also had a week the last couple of years anyway, though. Or at least
Yeah,
I
that's what
know
I'm gonna say. The PS3
it started with
went
the
hard and
360.
switched.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fucking Connect is when Don Matrick was like, "Oh, this is the future. Let's do this gimmicky bullshit." And that's when the Xbox started to turn from being that core console to being this fucking.
I like to
Kinect
make the
Sports.
it's all
argument. it had
Nintendo's
the sa-
fault,
it-
really, with the Wii, the motion
Yeah, the
controls.
Connect.
Technically,
Oh
it
no,
was
Connect was
we're not
home,
gonna
though.
do that.
Connect
no, we
sold-
can't do that. It's why? Because you know why? PlayStation did the same thing.
Yeah.
They didn't
Yeah,
go
like why we
crazy
can't
with
play
it,
this game of
Right.
like
They
women.
didn't release the PS4. You
Right.
have to use the Move. You have to do this.
Right.
You have to have a
That's-
camera.
Well,
that's
on Xbox.
Yeah.
Microsoft
Yeah,
did
but
that.
And
Connect
Xbox
sold
did sell,
really
and then to be
well,
fair,
though.
they did. I was gonna say the Kinect did sell well, so it's not like it was an unfounded.
No, it
thought
did.
process.
But it was a thing at that time. It was a
It sold
time
what?
period
10
type
million.
of
It
thing.
didn't sell like 50
No, it
million.
sold
Oh, it's
20
sold
million.
20-something
It's
million.
sold 20 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sold
More
well.
than that.
It sold well. They
Yeah,
they
it's
were
really
justified in pushing it.
Yeah.
They just didn't know when to stop.
All the Wii people migrated over to Connect and shit. They were, look, I can do
Because they
this.
made money.
I was so into that shit.
They made money.
Yeah.
They
made
absolutely
money.
made money. They just didn't know how to let it go, and then they stopped making like first party titles the last couple of years of the Xbox.
Well, the
360.
problem is they tried to make core games
Mhm.
using the Kinect. That shit was never gonna work. Like Rise Son of Rome was supposed to be a Kinect game, and the guys,
Yeah, you can
looking at
tell.
it was like, I want to make you sword slash, and I just want to press this button, but you want to make it all complicated. That nobody's gonna do this stuff in a
Retro,
game.
how did you feel about the 360? Was that your primary console?
Man, I didn't buy a single Xbox in my life. And like the only thing I heard from the 360 was always, like everybody bought like 4 of them because they kept dying.
Yeah,
Mine didn't. I still have my original.
And you know what?
I'll always
That's
say-
really.
I've always been.
360. People just said, "Fuck it, I'll buy another one. I'll get another one."
It
And
was very. I
was
genuinely
strange.
believe Xbox is one of those brands that only really has. I think Game Pass is the only other quality thing they've had in years, and their two major contributions to gaming will always be either online or Game Pass. So like their two.
Well, they
things.
also brought in the hard drive era with the Xbox.
I mean, I don't know if I call that a great thing personally, but
I don't know. Better than buying expensive ass memory
love that
cards.
I love that on the original Xbox, especially. That was the coolest shit. Rip my own songs. And
Nintendo's charging $20 for a card that you could use with one game. Some games you could fit more, but some games you could only fit save data for one game on a $20. So some games like Madden was $50, but it was actually $70.
It did open us up to PC shit we didn't like.
Yeah, but you
also opened us up to Force Paid Online. That was a beautiful thing. Appreciated that.
But they gave us a good online. It was a good online. It wasn't.
I would argue the PS3 had the best balance personally.
Force Pay, I don't know about that.
PS3 at least gave me a free option, and then. If you
but it
did
did like you had to use Bluetooth headsets, and I always had issues with. I couldn't find a good one.
I'm more talking about the model, but sure.
The connection, it was fine. It was Wi-Fi.
You mean the model that this console started?
Oh, absolutely.
You had to pay for this shit.
You could do the free, but it sucked. The paid was the Sega.
Well, yeah, but my point is that you were given an option.
I mean,
they're the ones who I've never been, but to be fair, I've never been a fan of Microsoft consoles and gaming, like realistically. That's a personal.
To me, it was
no. I would have never guessed.
To me, the original Xbox Online experience was better than the PS3.
You rat bastard.
Like
you said, what?
The original Xbox Online experience was better than the PS3's.
Oh, it was.
The 360 was even better.
Xbox Live was.
Plug your headset into your controller. Just quickly get your friends in a party chat. Start your games, whether you're playing the same game or not. It's everybody carry. You go in a Call of Duty lobby, they all go together. You don't have to worry about getting separated. And you lose in PlayStation. As soon as you left the lobby, they lost the voice chat. There was no in-system voice chat. And I'm like, yeah, it's free. I'd rather pay and have the good ass voice chat personally back then.
To be fair, I wasn't playing online at all, so it didn't mean as much to me.
I didn't play as much, but when I did. On Xbox, it was amazing.
I'm not denying Xbox
on Xbox Online. I mean, I remember I loved, man. That's some of the best memories. Is like, talking with I was an 8th grader ever talking with people.
Hey guys, also like Robert gaming with me here.
Well, no, Robert.
That's wild.
We're 360 me here, guys.
Yeah, we in 360.
We're playing some Call of Duty Ghosts.
And we play we live like black, and then I'd also just talk to random people. I love talking with people. Oh, it's great.
That shit was funny as hell. It was a good time.
Great time. And you still could go. What I love is those same people never left. If you go on, if you go on Black Ops 1,
people are friends. People still fucking OG Xbox from the beginning. Like, wow, that's just crazy.
I remember racing Project Gotham Racing. With some guys from Scotland or whatever, and we're driving this track and going by this castle. It's like, yeah, I drive by that castle every day going to work, and I'm like, this is blowing my mind. Like, we're talking right now, we're playing the same game, and that's where you live across, other side of the planet. It just blew my mind.
Oh yeah,
so.
I just love those old videos of Rod, man. You guys know Jigglypuff and stuff.
Yeah, I love that, man. I gotta go back and do that because, like I said, those people, they're still there. If you just plug in a headset, those people are still
crazy.
No words, bro. What the fuck?
That's crazy, and it's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
Anyway, we better wrap this up. Good fun podcast. Good activity in the chat. Appreciate you guys and gals.
Good energy,
guys and gal. One more month. So 4 more podcasts. 4 or 5 more podcasts before the Switch 2. Figure it out. Where's
he gonna have one. He gonna have one.
Open up.
I think Retro. Right, the way this is going, Retro's gonna have a console before he does. I'm gonna be open.
Let's see. So we got the 12th, the 19th, the 26th. Yeah, 4 more podcasts, and then the Switch 2. The 5th podcast from now will be giving him. Well, you guys will be giving him.
Yeah,
a
I'm not gonna make. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not making that podcast. I'm telling you right now.
Why?
I'm not coming.
Monday
The
night.
9th?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna come.
The
Where you gonna
second,
go?
I'm be
Oh.
busy. I'm be busy
the 9th, you're not
What you
gonna be able
doing?
to.
on the game. On the
On what,
game.
Mario Kart?
What game?
On video games. Just know that.
I was
Don't
gonna say,
call
what
me.
game?
I took the
I'm
3
just-
days
I'm
off,
just
so
gonna
we
be
can
like-
start early if we get
Just-
We
caught.
just-
should
like-
do a podcast on the chat.
No, don't do
On
that.
the chat.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't
We
do that.
should. We all
What are
get
you
like
going to be
it's not
playing,
gonna- it's not
Terrell?
gonna go
You're not going to
well.
be playing Mario Kart
We
like
go-
that. So what are
we
you be?
go-
I'm gonna be on the
Perfectly fine.
the point is I'm gonna be on the console.
What are you going to be
And
on
playing?
the
won't.
console.
I'm whatever I want.
There were plenty
That
of
would-
podcasts where people would be on playing a fucking game in the middle of the podcast and shit.
Yeah, we had.
No,
Oh,
we
what's your
should do
opinion?
that. Hey man, this might be a cool idea because we did. Remember, look at the Animal Crossing. They made a whole podcast out of Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
That motherfucker went big. Maybe they
He
made
blew up on that shit.
So whoever
He's
has a
actually- I
capture
think
card
he's
will
really
have to
directing.
have it on their channel so they can stream our game chats.
Yeah, we need to
could be-
do
that
that. We
could
need to
be
do
a-
that for real.
We should do that. Just a one in,
I'm
at least
with you- I'm
one.
with
in
you on
the-
that,
in the
Robert.
side.
Saturday or Sunday night after the Switch come out. So Friday night.
That's how
Saturday.
you blow this channel up. Yeah. That's how you,
No, I
that's how
mean
you-
one of that Monday we do one.
He's
and
like,
just
I'm trying to get
Friday.
paid. Let him get paid, man.
All right.
That would
Well,
be
we'll get out of
interesting.
here and we'll be back. And each
just-
week we'll be counting down till it releases,
Yeah.
and then after it releases, all the viewership will drop off, and I'll
See,
try
that's
not.
the kind of shit that's gonna
Jesus Christ.
I'll try not to
our
shit on the
viewers here.
Switch
We
2.
trying to be positive here.
Yeah.
You absolutely will. I don't know why he's lying to y'all.
Well, it depends on how many
Mhm.
Switch 2 editions come out for
Damn.
$70 and $80 in the
Should
next
just
couple
work
of
right
years.
now,
He gonna get a Switch 2 and be playing
Juice
Switch
has
1
a lot of
games.
unchecked anger that don't come out until he sees the right things that make him angry. This is a beautiful thing.
I think
You gonna buy a
should
Switch
just
2
put
and be
up
playing Switch
one
1
It's like
games on
Dr.
there.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That's what it's like.
But anyway, we'll see you guys. Says
Same
we had
next month.
383 viewers total throughout the podcast.
383
So that
viewers.
means